what a better map to start it off on than Sunset, a map where neither of these teams really play this all too often. We're gonna wait to see what's in store.
Deep breaths. SEN on the defense, Fnatic on the attack. We've got two of the best players so far in this tournament, now head-to-head. Zekken leading the fray, of course, and Durka, and in identical roles. The little switch here of the composition from Sentinels could put Fnatic on the back foot. Certainly shocked the desk a touch. And now we wait and see, has the prep gone out the window? A Fnatic now left wanting more, but patient beginnings.
Sentinels giving up that A site and the B site, looking to do that mid-collapse, which means we're probably going to see a 5-man, 5 versus 5 retake, unless Sentinels tries to press the issue a little bit early here. They have lots of characters with flashes. They have the KO, the Gecko, and the Paranoia from TenZ, but here comes the 5 versus 5. Smokes are down for the attackers in a few more seconds here, and the retake is going to be on.
But the first blood is drawn by Hero. Now, patience being shown again from SEN. Cautious steps forward, trying to clear through by elbow. You can see where the vast majority of Fnatic sit.
2 flashes ready.
They're waiting for it. First contact made. Site being swarmed. Sentinels looking for a body to drop, and the shots aren't landing this time. It's John QT to answer back. They've got sight, but they don't know about Hero. Pressure from the back lines. 3 for him, eyeing up his 4th. And John QT can only dance for so long. Fnatic with the first. SEN unable to land the retake.
SEN don't know if they're ready for this rude awakening, facing off against Hero, I guess the X factor of their own for Team Fnatic, coming in pretty recently and having tremendous form, finding that pixel gap on that cage on that first kill. But that first round falls to Fnatic, a slow contact into that site, structured on that retake. Surprised Durka didn't use the paint shells in that post plant, but Sentinels trailing by 1.
Just classics now for Sentinels. See what they can achieve.
And a similar start to the last round, or setting up mainly for that mid-fight to re-clear. They have just classics here, so waiting potentially for Fnatic to start maybe looking through middle, getting Boaster involved in that position, Hero as well. They've done these splits, they've done these inserts before, but right now Fnatic's not going for it. First round it's A, second round it's B, and another 5 versus 5 retake is going to be on the horizon here. Sentinels in a position, if they want to, they can flood out quickly.
They're looking to maybe springboard off the contact here, but Alpha standing on guard. That's Zekken gone and TenZ. SEN now down to 3. Again, it is just classic, so they're looking to do any sort of damage they can. Not finding that right now, and Alpha and Chronicle, clean work. A flawless round here for Fnatic in the second.
Flawless round, 4 alive on that pistol as well, so Sentinels barely in the game. They have a kill, that's on John QT. If they want to be able to get their footing in, they are a team that plays off that momentum, off that confidence, off the individual prowess. But it needs to start with a big round. This would be a perfect round to be able to set the tone. 5 players with light shield and Hero purchasing an outlaw.
Yep. Right there. That could be devastating. Again for SEN, they do need to get the ball rolling here. It's been a tough start for them. And it's Hero to take the first glance up towards top mid. Contact now, kind of on both fronts.
And here comes the middle advancement that Fnatic likes to do. Sentinels was trying to set up for it in the previous rounds. It never came, but this is the round. Durka, Boaster, both slipping the net. They're trying to do a split on B site.
But the high-low setup in market could still find masses of value. You look at Zekken, you look at John QT. Zekken in a wonderful position, but a very uncharacteristic missed shot, and Alpha takes it with both hands. The crunch coming in now. Wrap it around, Zelsis in trouble. Oh my god, so much trouble. Who the hell is this Fnatic? Because SEN unable to find their footing. I'm a little surprised, as I thought that nice little setup in market could have really rewarded Sentinels here, but no, it's down to the last 2 who aren't really encouraged to go for this now.
that high-low setup. Sentinels is looking very static at the moment, sitting in this, waiting for something, almost as if they sat there preparing for this map from Fnatic, looking at what they do and trying to maybe do a mind game, an anti-strat, and not really playing as loose and nimble as we come to expect them when they try to know exactly what's going on and they try to get ahead of it, try to 1 versus 5 these attacks. But right now, sticking to their guns, sticking to the setup.
Got him.
Nice.
Good done.
Nice for Sussy there. Good for him to start the ball rolling as well. Just feel out the game, feel like you can have a bit of impact. And of course, he gets to keep the rifle. The other 3 now, this was the bonus for Fnatic. We'll probably want to keep these. There's not too much of a need to chase. You've got to look at Durka as well. Showstopper is there.
I can't believe, though, it's going into round 4, and we're looking at Chronicle and Boaster combined 1 ultimate orb between the 2 of them. All the kills so far has been on Hero and Durka and Alpha. That's where the plants have been going as well. 2 of those are really good ultimates for them to have.
And good job, Alpha.
But
I was
Sentinels.
waiting for your flash. Yeah, good comes. That's fine.
Now is the time. Yeah, Saucy gets a couple of kills as he's trying to save his weapon, but knowing that they can get some shots back is going to be important enough to be able to realize time to get loose.
And again, it will always be a reminder that Sentinels, no matter the scoreline, are never quite down and never quite out. This time, that's what we're talking about. Sussy with a quick 2 in middle. Already doing so much damage, catching them by tiles. It gives them a huge advantage. However, unrecoverable weapons, that would have been lovely to get to hand. Maybe supplement the 2 remainders that they had left over. Again, Zelstis, John QT, and Zekken still on those sheriffs, but it's Tens on the corner. Boaster potentially on the chopping block. Tens going to respect that and fall back step by step.
Keeping in mind here that 3 players from Sentinels have sheriffs. They only have those 2 Vandals, and if Hero gets his hat off, he can get the information. This 3v5 is winnable. Right now, it's a 3 versus 4 in the A site.
Oh, Tens, again, another step back. Not getting what he wanted, but feeling brave enough to go back in. And that's why. Big pickup on Alpha there. And now they slow the roll. Sussy in unison. This is what Sentinels needed. As Hero gets caught, Sentinels responding kind, get the upgrades and get their first here.
A flawless, nonetheless, to open up their first round, the round that they need on the board to be able to get the confidence. But all those first and second rounds, that mid-stack, waiting for this mid-walk-up from Fnatic, it finally pays off in this 4th round. And now, feeling maybe like,
let's go,
hey,
boys. Let's get
it. We called this for a reason. We prepped like this for a reason, and finally we get the payoff of it. Now are we going to see something different from Sentinels, or are they going to keep running with the same sort of mid thing, thinking Fnatic's going to go for the same types of play?
Let's see. We haven't really seen Zelstis tested too early here. He's generally had B main to an extent. Gonna fall away from that. Look towards market. Very deep positioning. Alpha 1 off from his ult here. High focus towards top middle coming out from Sentinels.
Very early Thrash to re-clear the space, thinking that Fnatic was going somewhere.
I was looking at Zekken then. It looked like he was getting really interested through market, maybe taking a glance to clear behind the ult, but sees nothing with this.
That's the problem with this composition. Once you use that knife on that KO, it's all on the Gecko. Dizzy or Thrash, those are the only abilities to get information. There's no darts or drones or prowlers like most other teams run on this map. Take 2, he sees 3, so they know that Fnatic was leaning towards A, but still with a minute on the clock, Fnatic could decide to go somewhere else. It's very difficult for Sentinels to be able to break this setup right now.
It's tricky. A little bit of Cypher utility now spread across as well over towards A. Tens weighing on top.
Showstopper in play for Durka as well. Once they get close at that elbow area, they have this Rolling Thunder as well for that post plant. If they get into the site for free here, this is going to be saved from Alpha, and as soon as Sentinels starts to flood in, Alpha's going to pop that in reaction.
So we're getting low on time. And if Tens can take a player down! Oh, so close. Look at the HP on Durka. He's down to 2. Tens almost had him out of the air, but has to back away as the site will now be under Fnatic control. They need a plant here, which they should get, and you look at the post here. Does Sen pick up the pace? Do they look to pressure now? The Paranoia came in, the Flash went through in the boom bot, but they found nothing for it yet. I'm looking at the Lurk as well. John QT's position could be divine. Let's wait though, as already Durka going to find Tens, controlling the site for second with 2! And he's back on it now! You've got the ult coming through, Sussy sends out Dizzy, John QT, the Lurk comes in perfectly! As Alpha left in a 1v4, he's been found! The IGL taking the reins here. John QT leading by example.
A very big mistake there coming out of Team Fnatic, they got on the site for free. They have to understand something's going to come in, and how are they going to manage that post-plant positioning? They had that rolling thunder, and Alpha was positioned for it, but 2 players getting caught by the paint shells, no one dealing with that flank. That is not good enough, and Sentinels takes another round. That is 1 death in the last 2 rounds here. They are looking very sharp.
Every
very
round, baby, every
different
round.
from those first couple of rounds that they were showing where they were doing this mid-stack. And Fnatic need to dig deep if they want to post up a few more rounds here.
It's the perfect example of these 2 teams. You let Fnatic kind of paint their picture first, but Sentinels just ripping down the canvas. As soon as the momentum starts, the pendulum swings so heavily for them. And a very different look to begin with here as well. Looking at TenZ getting proactive, Zekken getting proactive over towards A. And willing to challenge behind the one-way. And we can see where Fnatic are residing. Durka and Alpha just around the corner. TenZ will show his position. Force Fnatic to have to invest util now to re-clear this space.
Stealing sight.
Actually, hold on, there's commitment! Zekken swings off the back of the paranoia. And that is a devastating duo to be holding that push up on A. Lovely synergy, and they've done well to get the first.
Stalled out, 1 minute remains on the clock. Fnatic can't break through A. They've used so much as well. They've used a drone in that position. They've used stun, a flash. Now they're down their duelists as well. Looking to pivot over towards B, but Sentinels, they staved that off with just 2 players. Their main defense is towards that B side. They got the trips there. They've got the triangle set up.
I feel like John QT is getting such a good read of this as well. That camera is going to give away the game.
Boaster through middle. Is he going to catch Zekken here?
Well, timing is everything, Boaster.
Oh!
It wasn't pretty,
okay,
but it will get the job done.
Heroes walk out B as well.
It's Alpha, though, to get the reward. He's still pushing through. The site under contest. Hero getting further than maybe they'd expect, but market is still an issue. SEN have bodies here. Alpha not completely clean on the cross, and John gonna catch him. Hero trying to work forward. It's Boaster with 1, and now down to the 1v1. But with 8 seconds, they're solo on time in the mosh. Hero has to go through it. He gets it, and he's gonna get the plant. Sassy isn't gonna be able to swing in time. Spikes down, but is he ready for the fight?
The cage.
It's perfect to give him a moment of respite. Spotting the cam and spotting the player. Sassy, the one to set this in motion, sets him up to draw the scoreline all even.
That was a very chaotic round. I'm surprised Fnatic was able to bring it back the way they did. The 4 versus 5 pivoting over and getting really just in every little corridor they could. Heroes walking out B, Boaster's going through the spawn smoke and catching Zekken on the sideline. That opening, though, that opening duel, the trade of utility at A, right now, Fnatic not finding their way into the rounds as easily as they did. The first few rounds were given to them. Sentinels didn't play on the site at all, and Fnatic got to walk in for free. What happens, though, when Sentinels tries to give them any sort of resistance? They're losing players, they're losing time, they're losing resources, and now they're losing steam. They took a timeout here to talk about what they need to do to adjust to what Sentinels is doing right now, but it all starts with getting a clean opening again. Sentinels changing up also what they're doing up relatively slow. They've been spreading across the map, trying to figure out which way they want to go. They haven't been going early towards middle since they got killed on that first double kill. But again, they haven't been taking B main by force yet. It's all been towards middle on this like 20-second into the round interval. Market door closed. Sentinels is giving up middle. They have that full control over A again. Chronicle gonna solo push off this area. This is a fake though.
Yeah, but that could have been scary, though. You saw that instantly Sassy had to turn around and support. Again, it looked like he wanted to go back towards top middle, but the timing on the owl drone forcing him to stay committed. Still, the cam towards top middle, John QT can keep a beat on if anyone is slipping through. You can see them trying to eye it up. Durka looking for it.
Sassy.
Post is there. Sassy almost shutting down on one. Zekken looking for a body. Can't get it. It's Chronicle to connect. So the mid-fight continuing. And do they re-aggress here, Sen?
Not enough util. Fnatic.
John QT, he gets overwhelmed, he gets run over. I thought he could have stopped this divide now invested. Zelsis? You're a brave boy, Zelsis. He's going back in for more. He wants seconds. One attempt wasn't enough. Working at the back of the Dizzy. I don't think they know he's here. Zelsis with the opportunity to do some serious damage.
Wait a minute.
And he's doing it. Back-to-back impact. But a 1v3, he'd have to go
Chronicle
for an ace. He's read Chronicle's position. Zelsis is absolutely reading this, but the timing not there. Chronicle, safe pair of hands as ever for Fnatic.
And a beautiful switch up as well from Fnatic off the back of that timeout. Don't know exactly what was discussed, but as you see Durka walking up middle with Boaster, he's staring upwards at that camera. They know something's up. And is this the time where the mind games start coming into play, where both teams prepped against each other for this map? Sentinels picking it. And I mean, Fnatic hasn't really had that many reps on it. They only brought it out at the end of stage 2.
Let's focus up. Yeah, thank you. Let's focus up a little bit.
Seems like maybe the communication's getting a little bit sporadic here, but we're seeing the off-up now on Zekken. The first time we're seeing it this game.
We haven't seen too much of the operator making impact, at least in some of the previous series. Nice to see it lent on early here. Maybe an answer to what they believe Fnatic are trying to do.
Right here.
Focusing on posting up Zekken over towards market thus far and keeping track over towards middle. It's been a constant pressure point for Fnatic. Celsius just shouldering the angle. It's a very slow and steady start. Fnatic trying to stay relatively unchecked on. And Celsius not going to get a glimpse on Durka until now. Spotted and still with his life. Durka then just lets go. He goes for it. Takes site control. John QT, Celsius towards that CT side. Flash goes in, any swing, no. Again, hindered, halted, ults coming through. They're trying to find these players towards CT. Nothing to connect so far. Still 5 alive on both sides.
Still no spike plant, 40 seconds, but the gap is closing right now. Saucy is on the backlines in the market, but now that the ultimate's gone from KO, abilities are back online for the attackers.
They want to secure the cross though. There's still threat to this. Tens, Saucy, both here. Pain Shell is perfect. It's going to do so much. Force them away. Alpha gets the fight and he gets the kill as well. Plant now in play. Durka defending. Takes away Tens. But it's Zekken with the impact through on CT. Looking to re-clear. That's a third. This could be magic for that man. But it's Chronicle still alive. Celsius takes another. But a 1v2. Chronicle the hero from before. But can he don the cape again? The reposition, they're staying close. Sentinels taking no risks here, but a fair fight found for John QT. Trade in place. Again, the leader, the captain, closing out the round, and we're back all even.
These rounds are coming down to the wire. We're seeing clutches coming out into play here, and Sentinels love these types of situations. If they can get it down to these 2 versus 2s, that's where they like to excel. And yeah, we're looking at Fnatic as well. They're no joke at it when they have players like Hero, they have players like Chronicle, and even Alpha. These are rounds where if you get some of these Sentinel players involved in these, they love it, they live for it. Nice little stall out in the middle of the round off the back of that KO ultimate. 5 players each side stalled out.
A little bit different beginning. It'll be Zekken noted first. Operator changing hands over towards Tens now. As Fnatic focusing towards that B main approach, leaving just Boaster split through towards tiles. We can see if they take the space towards A main again.
And a shift up of Fnatic's opening. They've not really been using B all game until this round and the start of the last round as well, usually towards middle, towards A. Here, fully ignoring it. They have that space at B main, trying to shock out whatever trips are here to potentially cause an overreaction from Sentinels or soften it up so they can end with a B split later in the round. But eyeing up that A main, they want to come back. They want to re-clear this. It's Tens this time with the operator. He's on this deep line. He's got backup this time with Saucy.
Time for brilliance. And an opportunity missed there. A very heads-up jump on the corner just to make sure. They've now identified to the operator is here. And this is enough to send them away.
Boaster and Hero just with classics right now. It's so imperative that Fnatic find a way to group up right now and play together. The trades are going to be so difficult to get into play with these classics, but here it's the market split. They were trying to set this up earlier, trying to shock the trips early. Boaster and Chronicle. And he gets a kill with the
Okay, the classic, and it's the Bulldog this time? John QT has been stalwart in approach of holding that B site. Chronicle gets the better of Celsius. Tens can't even get a second in the round, leaving Saucy, who was probably identified over towards that A site very early on. They get a beat on his new position here towards market. His options have pretty much gone here. And as if that's how they stick the landing, Josh, I didn't see that's how Fnatic was going to get back in with a classic kill and a Bulldog on B site.
Yeah, it's like that.
See.
Well, won't be a flawless round.
No.
Not again. Saucy trying to save his rifle again. This is the second time that he'd be going for it, but Fnatic again taking the lead. Another really clean round from them. It's been a few of these back and forth. It's either a big, flawless round in the side of, you know, one of the teams or the other, with the Fnatic getting the first few of them, then Sentinels fighting back with a few of their own. Then it came down, we had a few of these really close rounds, these clutches that were coming into play, and now a switch up again.
And when we were talking earlier, just to kind of take a moment while Sentinels have called a tactical timeout, the man on the screen there, Chronicle. At the start of the
doesn't know how
series,
to
it was
play the
mostly
game.
Alpha, Durka, and Hero having impact. Chronicle has stepped up as well. And he's towards the top end of the board here, 10 for him as well. But the buy is now shaky. They're going to be Guardians, there's going to be Bulldogs, there's going to be Light Shields. It's not what they would have ideally wanted to come in with, but we're seeing Xelsis maybe set up second here, but showing early interest towards B main. Going to keep Fnatic having to cautiously clear invest utility to force this man away. And he deserves the respect after the performance he's put in. Oh, flash and a re-clear again, but we know that Fnatic are willing to run the clock down, but he is going to continue to test their mettle.
Full group towards B main. Fnatic looking like they want to punish the next re-aggress coming in from Sentinels, expecting potentially a pop flash from that KO and a re-aggress, but it's not going to come in. And now they peel off. But the way that they're staying in these positions, both are controlling middle, they're leaving Hero and Dirk both towards B main. It looks like it's a fake re-clear towards A. They've done this before with that drone, but they'll have to flash the stun as well. But Sentinels creeping into middle, getting down. Both are
Isolate. Okay, I didn't see that one coming. He was clean with
more.
it. Yeah, and he's read it correctly. There are two more plays. The timing, he looks away. And then we put to bed, put to his grave. They've got a good read on this, and there comes Chronicle. This man's impact is off the charts. The hat ult as well should reveal a lot of information. This could be the go signal for Durka to take some space.
30 seconds
You're looking
left.
at the vast majority of Sentinels trying to focus up towards market, slip away towards CT,
Space
find
created.
a bit of safety.
Spike planted.
Chronicle up middle. It's
This
just the
guy.
camera to spot him, but he's not going to pop that camera at this stage in the round. Chronicle.
But they've got to buy time. They still have to keep them present here, keep them locked in towards market. Durka and Alpha in unison. And now you've got to look for the lurk here. Chronicle can now pull the trigger. He can get closer. They're none the wiser. They have no idea of the creeping death behind. No! Outrageous! And if John QT's alive, is there hope? The 1v1 between the young gun and the IGL of dreams.
The camera on the spike, though, as soon as John QT taps that, he's going to get tagged by the camera, and Hero will have a perfect opportunity to spam him. There's no way.
There's no time. The young gun might have just outdone him here. John QT is normally on for it, but it doesn't matter. The time is gone, and Fnatic stretch their lead.
Back and forth, sloppy or clean. It's back-to-back Sentinels and Fnatic trading out these rounds where one team goes huge and it makes it a really clean round, and then the next round it's a sloppy, comes down to the wire, the 1 versus 1. Boaster getting that first opening pick, that was huge. The rest of his team comes and collapses. Boaster almost, the reason why he turned away was because Hero was actually coming back and spotting that angle for him. They slipped the net, but couldn't get away.
And you've got to feel if John QT had more time on that, that could have been, oh, who knows, who knows?
Nice clutch,
Fnatic,
Hero.
it's-
Nice camera, brother.
Yeah, it's consecutive rounds. We've got a couple of ults here. Alpha's online, as is Chronicles. You do have Zekken with a showstopper, Stinger in hand, and, well, to say the least, it's a stack. 4 players from Sentinels. Going for a deeper look here. Zekken just turns away. There was a play around here. You know what's in hand. I mean, I don't know if that was worth it for Chron. Gonna let that fade away.
That's a big investment from Sentinels. They're showing their hand as well. B site is wide open for the taking. Fnatic cannot miss this timing. Right now, it's just a couple of trips for that push through from Fnatic to push into spawn, to push into market. But they don't need to do that. They got that rolling thunder. They can play out of the site once they get that spike planted. But Sentinels already in position to come and deny this plant. The Alpha.
And look at Sarsi though, he's crept further forward. They don't know about Sarsi. And you gotta know about this man, 10 kills already, he's dead! Hero holds the line. And now John QT and Xelsis' options become near on null. Durka gonna be hungry for this, he's going hunting! And he's having his dinner. John QT, once again last alive and very few options. It's time to back away.
And again, sticking to the theme of the game, Fnatic pick up another round, 4 alive on the board, and John QT has to save again. This is the 3rd or 4th time Sentinels has to do a save. Saucy was in a couple of those situations, trying to recover that rifle for the following round, because if you look at their credits, basically nothing. full control as Team Fnatic, and I'm pretty sure Chronicle is also either on Hunter's Fury or close to it, where he can have it in this next round. The combo with the Alpha's Rolling Thunder as well is going to be very tough to deal with, and Sentinels, they've shown some grit in some of these rounds with some of the retakes, with some of their aggressive fights towards A main especially, but these rounds towards B have not been looking super clean for them or close at all.
This is a bit of a turning point here. Got a little bit worried that that could have been a downfall, actually, giving over a big opportunity. But even with Sen in that rotation position, even getting to the site so early, I just love the fact we are getting to see two of some very, I guess, respected IGLs in that role. Great calling, great reads. We've got John QT up against Boaster. And John QT's been dangerous. I mean, the man is a danger, to say the very least. A fragging IGL through and through. But Boaster so far, a very strong grip on this game. Looks like a 3-2 split here. Early pressure towards Zekken. Speaking of pressure, that doesn't apply as Zekken gets a new lease of life. You can't get the follow-up on Boaster. Speaking about fragging IGLs, it's Boaster at the helm this time. 2 for him, but John QT has his number. Keeps him in a level situation, 3v3, but the retakes have been difficult, and Hero feeling confident. That's why. Claims another man. It's Tense and Sassy. The duo over towards the A site. But Hero has been sharp. Ult comes in, should clear towards Elise Pillar. Both seen, and actually, hold on.
It catches two.
That's a problem here. It's only Alpha who could do anything about this. So the flash to buy a little bit of time, and Ten's going hunting. He wants in. Stunned up, forced to respect. They're trying to close down, but they can't get to them. Fnatic hold the line! And they hold the scoreline. Taking the lead here. Boaster knowing what he's done on this half. It's a big half to keep Sentinels humbled, to keep them down on 4. A deadly side through and through. But 8-4 is the scoreline. We'll be back in just a second.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, come on.
Trade in any phone in any condition, guaranteed, and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Baked into their plans. Did that catch Sentinels off guard? But when we look at the scoreboard here, all of the players of Fnatic are contributing on a fairly equal level, some maybe a little bit more than others, but side of Sentinels, some of you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up now. Contact into B. Knife.
Camera taken.
Sees if anyone's close by.
Oh,
But here's the counter push.
The disrespect from Dirk to go head first for that. Zekken is going to quell that and punish him for the disrespect, but he claims Sassy's life. It makes it trickier now to get towards this B site.
4-on-4, a little bit of a pause, but Sentinel's still trying to get out of the site. There's nothing really to stop them from getting out here. Hero on an off angle.
But if Alpha gets the contact as Hero then swing, it looked like that was the intention. They should note his position here. The flash is fantastic, forcing him deeper. Zekken trying to springboard forward, looks for another victim to fell. It's Tens though to get Alpha, so that does remove some of the pressure from Market. Zekken kicking it up a gear. Now just on Boaster in the 1v2. Pain Shell in play still for Zekken. Boaster to walk back in, and Zekken looking lethal. The timing, it's right. Sentinels answer back perfectly. Pistol is theirs.
And now the score is going to get a little bit closer. We're getting more players involved in Fnatic. Getting a little wild there on that B main push, trying to catch Sentinels. Only a 1-for-1 trade. But again, it comes down to these very sloppy fights at the B site. There's almost like a two-man split off. 2 players pushing up the site, 2 players pushing towards Market. Spams going through the cages, people pushing in all sorts of different directions. Very, very messy. And reminiscent of that first half as well.
Baby. Let's go.
Either really sloppy, crazy, down to the wire rounds, or these clean, flawless ones.
Yes, this should do.
Now this should be the gap close, right? This should be 6. Fnatic should be held here. Just pistols. They've gone for a stack as their starting look over towards A, 4 of them. Maybe John QT, who's got to be aware of that. And so far, playing the timing well.
I always get a little bit nervous when I see 5 players with classics. Like, you need to be very confident in either giving up that round or being able to do a miracle with that. It's always when you have like 1 or 2 sheriffs that you're like, nah.
Cage triggered.
Fnatic trying to just get some economic damage. Search out where John QT is trying to fall back to. John QT realizes he's being hunted right now. He's like, I'm going to try to take you on a wild goose chase because right now, if Fnatic move away from that spike, they need to die to that at the end of the round here.
This is smart. This is really smart from John QT. I think Hero knows that he has to kind of fall back towards that B side, looking like he wants to try and approach through market, or at least go out that way. Okay.
Zellsis next.
I mean, how much can they really cost him here? I'm looking at, it's really, yeah, Zellsis who's on the chopping block. 10's going to take away Hero. Zellsis got to be really careful. Yeah, keeps cool, but he's got an army flooding him. That is a valuable weapon dropped, and both will go down in the end. See if John QT can recover that in time. They ran it further back and actually doesn't get hold of it.
That is an expensive round for Sentinels. Fnatic doing work with those classics, those free weapons. They damage. I mean, only Saucy got out of that unscathed, and he had a Bulldog. He didn't have a Vandal or Phantom even, so very costly round. But Zekken has that showstopper. They can use this to convert this third round. That's what Fnatic did in the first half to win those first 3 rounds in a row. It's on Sentinels to try to figure out. They had that game plan for Fnatic in that first half. Will they have it here?
What is this mid stack? Look at that from Fnatic. 3 players there.
Firing squad.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to get ready. And Saucy had the timing right. Still took down Hero.
But that's Hero out. He normally plays B. That might tell Sentinels it's an A retake. The knife info as well.
That's pretty big though, finding 2 players there.
But not in a position to capitalize off of it. Right now, Sentinels is grouping back towards B. Fnatic want to do that re-clear on middle. They already have that drone out, clearing everything. They see set 10s. If 10s went down there, that would have been huge. The smoke's gone, would make this post plant so difficult to defend against. But Fnatic haven't found out exactly where to go yet. They're playing that retake. 4 on 4. They have their smoke still.
So they've conceded the B site control. They've given that over towards Sentinels. You see Zekken on guard duty, basically rocket in hand, ready. Not going to get anything for it. As Fnatic starting to flood back in through market. One splitting off his poster. Still going to have util in the backlines from John QT to deny that being a comfortable position to pressure from. And how are you meant to dissuade the players on the site? You can't! When TenZ does that! Back-to-back brilliance from the man. Chronicle and Durka brought to their knees. Poster and Alpha, options have gone.
They just need a save now. They realize Sentinels, their money was so low. Maybe doing a little bit of economic damage here to keep their money low. But I'm looking at it right now. 3,400, 26, 2,400. Their money's actually in a really decent spot at the moment.
Yeah, they're fine with that. John QT. Zekken looking for the player. Trade does go down. And yeah, these rounds are getting close, but that's a bonus converted. That is a bonus for Sentinels. Step by step, closing up the scoreboard now. 7-8, 1 away from being a tied affair here.
This game, I mean, it's going to be unpredictable. The whole way through, you can't really know what's going to happen until the very last second. And even then, you don't even know. The back and forth, just the way that the rounds are traded out like this.
And it was something you were saying at the start of this. We needed some of the Sentinels players to wake up. That is looking like TenZ is starting to heat up a bit here there. That was some beautiful shots for him. The only one to retain the rifle for Fnatic is Durka. Sentinels should, and I say should lightly, because there are a couple of sheriffs out. You know, this is a little bit more of a defensive round.
The dart stun combo.
Timing. Oh, Zekken caught just drifting through. TenZ remains alive for now, but he's lucky, if anything. And the punishment, the control on B main is kept in the hands of Fnatic. These weapons aren't easy to get hands on, but Zellsis trying to take the challenge. He's got Saucy behind him, and a quick swing. Zellsis beheading Durka, trying to defend this. Police those weapons lost.
4 versus 3 in favor of Fnatic on their eco round here, and John QT trying to search out this A area, get a little bit of information here.
Oh, he's seen a lot in middle there, though. Not sure if he saw 2, maybe even 3.
Camera gets taken out, but the defender camera at B main, ready to just figure out what's going on here if they need to go for the retake. Searching out John QT, though, yeah.
Look at Hero's position. He knows there's a chance of this. A was left completely open. Hero taking a couple of glances towards it, over towards that spawn side. You can see Sentinels cautious in approach. They don't quite know where Fnatic have gone, and this flank is on the way. So a flank on a flank pretty much here. You got to expect the timing to be right from John QT.
Hero knows.
Gonna know at least 1. He now knows there's 2, but the trade is there for Alpha.
Hero.
This could get turned on its head. Hero reads it well, and now Zellsis in a 1v3. It's only Sheriffs, but how much can one man do? He's got a player to the right, 1 to the left. The defuse will be beginning in about a second. You take your eye off the prize and they'll punish you for it. Another opportunity. Two for Zelsis. Maybe a third. No, Hero
Don't interrupt.
makes his appearance known. Defuse for the ult for Chronicle. And the scoreline gets held away for now.
Both these teams doing such big gambles on both sides. Here, Fnatic, they choose to do this 4-man D full retake A setup. It's not the first time they've done it, but here they've got the stun, the dart ready, and they're going to fight inside of B main, catching Sentinels. They had Sheriffs only, and a classic. These rounds, these reads, everyone's in each other's minds right now.
Yeah, I love that between Hero and John QT then kind of circling each other. And you saw the
sorry
awareness
guys,
from
I
Hero.
thought
He
you
was
were fighting
turning, he
with
was
me.
looking at it. Okay,
I mean, got it in the end.
Okay,
Yeah, he did. Wild stuff. We're not out of the woods yet. This game definitely hasn't settled. It's up in the air, 7-9.
As soon as Fnatic gets that win off that 4B gamble stack, they switch it up. They're in a 4A gamble stack. They got the camera and the trips on Boaster on A, but we haven't seen the side from them yet before. Chronicle also has that Hunter's Fury, and he could pop this in the back if he wants.
Let's see. Sassy's cleared through. There's no one currently in market. They know the site is absent of players.
Covering it. Spike
Plant might
planted.
be questioned, but for now, they hold the site and they're staying on the site. Sentinels not falling back towards B main. They're looking like they want to get in here. Ten's trying to tee him up.
With the
Paranoid
thrash.
goes through. Bosa tries to back away, but he's caught. He is absolutely sunk. Second, leading the charge, and now the rest of Fnatic want to avenge their IGL. You got to look at the flank here as well. You're right. Zelsis going to be put on notice. Catches him. Notes Durka. Paint shell goes in, and Zelsis leans forward. But it's Durka and Chronicle in unison, dropping bodies. Sassy holding the back from the market, trying to play to the time perfectly, and they're doing everything they can. But a 1v2 for Alpha. He may not have the time for this. I think it's gone. I think it's too late. Sentinels back up within touching distance now.
These rounds are just so back and forth in their faces. I thought Sentinels was going to get that one for free as well once they got on that B site, extending to spawn with that Thrash, but somehow Fnatic from multiple different angles, a three-prong attack, they're coming in for that retake, and they're hidden back hard. Still, almost tied up game. Fnatic, they're taking another timeout here. This is the last one gone for them. So many ultimates for them.
And I kind of like that they're pumping the brakes here, because similar situation on the other side, not quite as, I guess, instigating ults. You've got the TP for 10s, the hat for John QT.
Yeah, double stacks constantly re-clearing middle, and Sentinels, they've been pacey towards B a lot.
They have been. And Sentinels currently are 4-1 on this half, picking up the pistol, converting the bonus, just getting that one back.
Right here.
It is game on. Let's see what Sentinels decide to do this round. Chronicle going to get the information early towards A, but they're going for a bit of a heavier presence towards B. You're looking at Alpha, you're looking at Durka, and Hero on the back line by Pillar. And Sentinels going to go through the protocol list. It's actually going to be a huge investment! Durka takes away Zeka, but how much more can he do? Ten's taking a little bit of splash damage, it looks like, and Sassy going to lose his life. They've invested everything they had to that opening.
Those 2 kills are huge. They need to be able to close this out. John QT, that would have been a huge find if he was able to get it on Boaster. But 3 players from Sentinels coming over to this A-side. Boaster is all alone. He needs to find a way to get out. He needs to live. His teammates are so far away.
Surely it's too late. He can only hold towards that elbow position. John QT trying to close the gap, get a bit closer. Takes a step over. The trap in play, trying to isolate Boaster here. He's been seen, he's been noted, he's buying time. But it takes time. The rotation on the way. And Chronicle right nearby. He might steam himself up for the trade. Ten's left out to dry. No one there to back him up until then. 2 big picks. John QT and Zelsis take away the players trying to pressure that plant, but it got into play. So Zelsis and John QT still need to stand together. It is a 2v3. Numbers on towards Fnatic's side. Zelsis feeling the pressure on the site. You're going to see the crossfire in play here as best they can. Zelsis going to get the contact from all 3. Can he divide? Can he conquer? Spots them getting closer. He knows it. He hears it. It's John QT to his side. But Durka succeeds. And now John QT on 39 needs to clutch and he can't. Fnatic make it up to 10. Sentinels held on 8. The scoreline finally pulling away.
Fnatic finding their groove again. That was so scary for Boaster on an island for so long. Such a big ultimate investment to get those first 2 kills, to get that opening. You should be converting those rounds pretty much like 90% of the time pretty much, but the fact that it got as close as it did makes me nervous for what happens. Oh no, the stand-up curse, the stand-up curse.
Glue him to the chair.
It's fine, because if Sentinels wins a round, Zelsis probably stands up, it evens out.
It's not fine. I'm telling you now, it's not fine. Oh lord, it's a rifle with Zekken and a sheriff with 10s. But why? Why do I feel like this is the one? The curse begins. Let's see what damage they can do all together. 3-2 split towards A. Chronicle stands in his way. Right, big info, flank en route. But if he goes down, the floodgates open. They have a safe cross towards the site, so Wingman probably going to get the plant now.
The early flank is coming out for the defense. And all the smokes are gone for the attackers. They're not going to have another one for about 15 seconds or so.
But this is the man. Zekken, 10s, these two. Paranoia primed. He gets it right. That's a lot of blind
They have
players.
Care Ultimate as well to stall everything out if they want it.
Paranoia is perfect. Zekken can only get one though so far, but 10s falls for it. It's fine. It's a 4v4. Time beginning to tick. The backline pressured. Hero, this should be called out. They've got to know he's here. Zekken waits in the smoke and he strikes. This is the round. Is this how it happens? The curse potentially coming into play, but a 3v3 and Fnatic shut it down. 11 for Fnatic. Defuses there.
If you're going to stand up, at least deliver at the end there. Alpha with 3 big kills, not letting it happen again, not again. He learned his lesson. And if you're going to be the one to stand up, at least you got to put the other team down.
That was one rifle and one sheriff. Right, that's the simplicity of it, and it felt so close. Alpha really clean. Yeah, he made sure he locked that in.
Bro. I just saw the last
Two
of
at the
on
end
rifle.
Chronicle also stood up, I'm pretty sure, in that situation, so Chronicle clued into that. It doesn't matter, though. It looks like Fnatic is trying to set up that B defense again here. It's worked for them before. Sentinels eyeing up middle for the first time.
That would be probably the remit of more, I guess, Alpha. And you can already see the adjustment coming from Chronicle too, so maybe try and keep tabs on that.
I think
Knife
Durka
goes
snuck in here before the camera went up, and John QT will not be the wiser.
Oh god.
It's all on that trigger discipline to line them all up.
The timing.
3 spotted at middle.
Big info. Alpha now under scrutiny, but
Durka!
oh, John QT, the savior of that moment. A missed shot, and now Sentinels start the ball rolling. The B site is open, it's available. Hero trying to hinder. Catching one on the cross, can't land it, John QT does. Setting them up for success. And a plant that he had, and if you're Fnatic, you're pulling the plug, surely. That was perfect from Sen.
A couple of the players on Fnatic have a little bit of cash reserves, but we're also looking at Hero, who's down to 100 credits, so a likely save. They're in the lead. Only one big ultimate used there from Zelsis. They still keep Zekken's showstopper for another day. And Chronicle, not really involved in some of these fights.
I mean, the pacing Sentinels took through mid, how are you meant to? His Owl drone seemed well timed, but by that point, they were in market, basically. He caught, 3 of them moving that way, but by that point, the timing on the crunch, I guess it felt like he was dependent on Durka, pretty much. If he succeeds towards main, maybe they can
He was set up perfectly
timing,
for it.
and he missed.
He missed. Sometimes
That's
that's just how it goes.
John QT,
You can have the
man who did
perfect,
it.
yeah, you can have the perfect setup, but if you aren't able to capitalize on the position you've been given, the blessing, that's it. It falls apart so easily. Fnatic, I want to see them change up their setup though. They've been running the same kind of B defense, jamming them in B main a few different times here, and it's worked. It's given them what they wanted, but we saw it in the last half as well. Around 7 or 8 rounds into the game, Fnatic did switch it up and started changing the pace, started baking in that misdirection. I wonder if we're going to see a switch up from Fnatic on their defense, or even Sentinels. They've been going really quick. That first 40 seconds, they're in the site, and it's usually been towards B here.
Cage trigger.
But a little bit of a fake opening towards A. A lot of information given. They have that camera.
The third man.
Yep. And right now, Fnatic is defending towards that A side. They're putting Hero back on B. We haven't seen him towards B defending since maybe even Pistol around this game. He's usually so good at this, getting 2 kills, getting out with his life. But here he backs out, doesn't want to go against these ultimates. But so much space taken, and they're going to keep going. Sentinels, they have that showstopper. It's still active. The Thrash, they need to recover it.
Now, they're going to know that they've taken over CT space. It's all through market, pretty much. Maybe an eventual flank from Chronicle, but Fnatic have to take some more space back in. They can't just flood through market.
It's going to be hard, though. Sentinels playing forwards. They know this Astral Divide's in play.
Yeah, staying on the site here. Paranoia ready. 10 sends it and then backs. They're just not getting in the door here. Sentinels shutting it in their face. Now it is go time. Zelsis sent to his death, forced to fight forward. Sassy now leaning back, but time is ticking. You gotta get a move on here. Sentinel's gonna lap this up, but the trade's in play. Sassy still stands, as does John QT, and the time is ticking. They are out of time, surely. No more to be done here. No more time to play. Sentinels running it down to the wire.
And Sentinels taking that round from under the noses of Fnatic, and Fnatic just way too slow, couldn't find an opening into that round. They had an idea of what they wanted to do, but so much pressure put on them from that Thrash, from that showstopper, and then the paranoia, and then they back out to the next angle. They don't back all the way into B main. They know that's a round loss for them. So they back out, just back into the site, get this crossfire going, and another chaotic situation. I am surprised that Absolute Divide was used in that situation with that much time left.
Yes, that is a big burn up of an ult, but I have to give credit again. In a round they needed that the timeout was potentially built for, you've got John QT leading by example. One exceptional IGL, 21-11. Again, conceptually, that fate coming into play, it pulling that third body across Fnatic too late to the party on B. Absolute maestro of the downfall of Fnatic in that round. However, still in the lead overall, Boaster really pressured in that. And we've got pressure on two fronts, really. Oh, but Zelsis deals with Durka. Sends him away and falls off this.
A minute to play with, a 5 versus 4. And a good read, understanding exactly how Fnatic's trying to do this push and pull every time they're trying to take B main and re-aggress into their Sentinels, waiting, ready to punish that. Now another retake potentially for Fnatic, this time in a 4 versus 5.
A little uncomfy there, but all good. Should be able to get the plant now. We're looking at what they've got for the retake. Bulldog.
Spike planted.
Still there for Boaster. SMG for Chronicle.
They have that dart that can smoke off elbow, aftershock out that default box. This is doable for Fnatic. It needs to be perfect though. Boaster trying to take that timing in.
Actually, he's gone in the door. Zekken sends him away though, and now they're struggling, now they're capitulating, now they're falling to pieces. Sentinels coming together when it matters most. 11 potentially now. Destined to be a close game between these two. Chronicle can do nothing really. Yeah, he might find one, but unless they completely leave the site, it means nothing. Take a couple bodies, sure. Make it hurt. But the real gut punch of it all for Fnatic will be that it's 11-11 Sentinels back in this. And watching John QT is like watching a master at work. He has called a fantastic half for this side. And now all even, where's the game gonna go?
You asked me this, but again, the mind games that are coming out, these guys know exactly what the other team is gonna do. The preparation is there. They know exactly how they want to manipulate everything. And sometimes, even with the perfect plan, it doesn't work out. Alpha, though, those big kills, he's got his a few good ultimates here. One away from Hunter's Fury as well. Fnatic about to have really good chance to turn this around again.
But look at the money.
I mean, it's down there.
The ults, the money's in the bin for Fnatic. You got Sheriffs, you got SMGs, 2 Sheriffs.
Doesn't matter, I saw them win with Classics.
On the other side, Sentinels strength after strength here. Zelsis knows, he's baiting this out. It's so well done. Sentinels, again, correct read, finger on the pulse.
Cage triggered.
Alpha still has that rolling thunder, and if they do this 3-man flank all the way through, they can actually catch Sentinels in a really precarious position here. Fnatic backing all the way out, holding from a passive spawn angle, waiting for Sentinels to extend all the way through. But still, I look at, you're right, the Sheriffs, the Spectre, not the greatest weapons. It's all on Dirk and Alpha to find these big openings. Showstopper already wasted. Sentinels looking for that opportunity to jab through the smoke. Counter util ready. That's Alpha affected. No stun, no flash. The time is ticking.
Fnatic running this incredibly low. Again, the ult. Okay, it's going to be down to the wire, but 10's unaffected. Maybe his moment to shine, but forced away. 24 HP, he leans forward, and it just brushes his shoulders. What? He still gets the body for the time. Keep in mind the clock is ticking, and it's ticking fast. John QT forced away. Zelsis fights back, and Sentinels make it up to 12.
Sentinels, 12 rounds on their map pick. Starting the half, 4-8, they were down They get those first 3 rounds in a row. They start climbing it back round by round. It's not pretty every round, but they get there in the end. Now, map point for them. Fnatic, they're going to be able to string together some sort of buy going on here, but in Sentinels is full control of the game. They know exactly how Fnatic wants to respond to some of these situations, baiting out perfectly Durka to push through B main. It's not working for Fnatic, and they need to switch it up if they want to be able to stay in this game.
Down to the wire. OT on map 1 in the hands of Sentinels.
Right here.
Chronicle with the ult.
Take flight.
On the other side, 10 still has his, but nowhere near as influential. And the Owl drone, does it catch a pixel? Absolutely not. Not going to see what he wants this time.
Not ready yet.
It's a very early reclear. And if he's alone here, it's going to be dangerous for him to pop out. Oh, he's just going to do a blind.
Oh my god, it could be devastating, but he doesn't catch.
No.
Just about
That's
caught
attack.
second. How much does that tell them? And then it falls into the one man's hands who could be the threat, who could be the downfall. How diligent are they? It doesn't matter, he still gets one.
Big shot.
Oh, Chronicle, where was
Down
that?
A.
Out of nowhere, catching Sassy on the shock dart. And suddenly, they're left in pieces, fractured on the way forward. Tens, John QT and Zelsis, you talk about impact players. You got them in this, though.
I'm looking at Tenz's ultimate. On a round like this is where you want to try to find your footing into a site and pop that ultimate if you need it back out. Right now, Zels is trying to figure out how he can disrupt this retake, the rotations, but deciding to move together here. John QT versus Hero is going to be a big duel toward B, but it's a defense on market. They don't care about the site.
The first fight, Tens trying to lead the fray. John QT, Tens, back-to-back impact. TP to the site, plant up next, and suddenly the record is flipped. And now you're down to Alpha and Chronicle. Again, impact sure, but in a moment like this, can you pull it through? Zelsis hops away, he keeps himself alive. Information aplenty, they now know what they're up against. And Tens' timing could be heaven sent. But no, they skip around, they go towards site. One towards main, one on pillar, one CT. Hard to find fair fights, and John QT prowling, waiting. Chronicle finds Zelsis, but the time is ticking, and Tens is on the way. The camera comes up, they want to get it towards half.
Tens.
They might just do it, but Tens, the bully of the big boys, afraid of no one, shuts out map 1. For mine go-to, now seeing this.
When I look at this, I'm looking at Fnatic to be able to hone it in. Sunset, not one of their better maps. Sentinels coming into that game, understanding that they had something prepared. Here, this is a very structured, heavy, protocol-heavy map.
4 plays stacked towards A, the walk through shower. Dizzy to set it in motion, and they take space. Exchange on the side, those Sentinels. Sassy maybe underestimating how many were there, and Fnatic have kept so many bodies on this site. Yeah, there's no way. Sen completely stunned by this. The only maybe silver lining is that Zekin's
Headshot.
been let loose, but the
Spike
spike
down
has
A.
been left over towards A. Maybe if he'd had that, he could have maybe snuck away, but a 1v3 with a classic in hand. I mean, not out of the realms of reality for Zekin.
They know
Difficult position.
roughly where he was. He got that kill with the paint shells. So, the reposition from Fnatic. They're moving away from showers. They're tripling up, making sure they go together. Durka, he's got paint shells. They got the spot as well.
Yeah, but it's still Zekin. A reposition and a body found.
That second kill gets him a refresh on his paint shells. He's got double satchels paint shells. The spike's not planted on his side of the box. And once Fnatic figure that out, but they need to get to it first.
Nothing short of brilliance demanded of Zekin here. A tap on the spike. And they're forced away, not achieving half. This is doable. It's not done yet. Chronicle keeps Fnatic in control here, but that very close.
Fnatic off to a good start again. Same thing that happened last game, but if I am going to learn anything from that last map of Sunset, it's that anything can happen and no round is safe to predict, because both these teams are capable with the amount of firepower on both teams that they're able to go pound for pound against each other. It really can come down either way in some of these clutch round moments. It's all about that start, getting those clean openings, that clean entry into the site. Sentinel's been walking into sites for free if Fnatic hasn't been doing these really good combos on them and getting the good read.
They're going to get a punish on this, though. Stack towards showers this time. Early test on it. And they are going to be forced to fall back here. So all collected. Zekin actually going to be really close to that showstopper very early on. Only 3 away.
He'll be there pretty soon. One thing I do need to point out on this map is, you know, we look at Alpha on a map like Sunset on Breach. He's there setting up other players. He's not involved in the action, but here on Gecko, he's going to be involved in some of these fights. We saw him get the opening last round. Chronicle getting pushed back here. The A split's coming in. The smoke's going down. The spike trying to get planted.
Yeah, Sen pressing the issue. Plant going to come in and going for the showers plant here.
Spike planted.
Chronicle, this is so dangerous.
He's going to be overwhelmed. Surely he's dead. He is. Sentinels, you got pistols and you're making mountains out of molehills, and it might just work. Trying to
the orb.
push this further though. Hero does get traded. 10 still alive. This is still a threat. This is still a problem. Zelstis finds Alpha. Durka has to pick up the pieces, but time is ticking.
has a molly.
QT. I thought he might have had that there, but is a molly going to hit in time?
He hasn't even sent it
He
yet.
hasn't sent it through.
There's no time.
It's a missed opportunity. I thought that could have been done. I genuinely thought they were in for a shot on that.
This is what happens when you switch up compositions so frequently and you play maps so infrequently as well.
Yeah.
You don't have the deep knowledge about how you
comfort
can
on the
use those agents.
yeah.
Like when we talk about certain players on certain agents, we talk about like, oh yeah, they're on the agent, they're getting lots of kills, but do they actually know the agents inside and out? When you're switching through so many different agents, it's hard to know all the lineups across different agents for different positions. And that Brim Molly could have been a difference maker on that round.
It really could have, and he was in
It's
the right
fine,
place
boys.
for
Let's
it
go. We won the round. Good job, guys.
too. Doug is like, don't worry, we won it. Let's just not think how we won.
Rounds around.
Rounds around. Bonus now, feeling heavily invested behind.
Zekin one off his showstopper. That kill on Boaster and Hookah could be the difference maker.
Could be.
For the trap here.
Ooh, a little dizzy sent through. Just the freebie.
Boaster.
Okay, Boaster, relax a little. Just fights breaking out across the map here. This is very, very staggered throughout. But you're looking at where the spike's going over towards B long. That is the vulnerable site here. That is where they should be heading.
Smoke.
Reading it correctly, Boaster doesn't have options now. He's committed to this position.
Smart smoke positions from the attackers
Double
here.
pump.
Oh,
Love that. I mean, if they've read it well, they've heard the TP.
it's just him with the spike though. This is so dangerous for him if he gets caught out of position, but
High risk, high reward.
instead Alpha goes down.
So it's on Chronicle. So maybe buy time, make them work.
45
Make it
seconds.
not feel so easy. 40 seconds now. Boaster's trying to clear out towards that B site, but Sen are on the way. Smokes
That's
coming
the
into
last
play.
smoke.
That's all they had, opting towards heaven. So Chronicle now with a chance.
30 seconds.
But the timing from Shower is pretty key, can't deny it. And John QT with the punish. Sentinels, beautiful play. High risk, high reward, and Boaster forced to save.
Not the end of the world for Team Fnatic. This was their bonus round. Not an issue at all to lose it. Sentinels, though, with 4 alive at the end of it, is a big pickup for them. Zekin as well as TenZ, they have their ultimates online for this first gun round that's going to be coming in here. And, I mean, Fnatic, they had a decent idea. They missed the timing on that Showers crunch. They had that second connection onto that Hookah crunch as well, but Sentinel staying a step ahead of it, trying to do this weird TP back to Showers, then rotate back to short. So trying to do these mind games, and Sentinels is really good at those on-the-fly adjustments. Fnatic like those pre-planned start-around actions where if they have to pivot, it's not the best. A lot of back and forth and indecision, but Sentinels looking like they know exactly what they want to do when chaos starts happening.
Yeah, they truly do thrive. It's one of the most brilliant things to witness.
Yeah, I just
especially
lost
when
my
it's-
fight. I knew he was gonna be there.
Fine. I just think, I think you should just slow
Yeah.
down, is what I'm saying. Like, I think it's fine, but I think you just slow down.
Okay. Ease up a little bit. They've got some 2 big ults as well, that if they do want to leave it later in the round potentially, they can
See you on
lean
the
on
other
those to
side.
secure the space. And I'm seeing Bucky's coming out. We've got 1 on Gron, 1 on Alpha. So trying to make something out of this purchase. Like I said, it was a very costly bonus they invested into, so suffering the consequences to that.
Another early stack for Fnatic, but they're going to peel away from this. Slow spread default from Sentinels, waiting to see what happens. Fnatic does, on a lot of maps, kind of push around, try to re-clear. We saw them pistol around as well. Through Showers, they went Alpha picking up that first kill on that push, but Sentinels They waited long enough. They see nothing happening. They're moving towards B. They do have really good ultimates, and they've got that Brimstone. So they can ignore Hookah, smoke it off, smoke off elbow, smoke off spawn, and do a full site hit with all these pieces of util that they can use. But already Fnatic's moving in here, and they've got the positioning. Durka's got a Vandal as well in the back of the site here, and a Paint Shells.
John QT trying to work up towards B long here. Already pressure on the side, but they haven't broken through by Octagon yet. Now they go. Zekken wants to find Durka, who quickly dodges, but it's John QT to land it. Boaster with the impact. Now down to Zekken and TenZ. And Zekken up above, flies through the air. But the ease is not there. It's all on TenZ in the 1v1. But where the hell is Chronicle? Even TenZ is unsure, but opts for a plant here, but he's only got a Bucky. How the hell is he meant to get in here now? Did he see him?
He's going for the jump spots, the silent ones too.
He's looking for him. Chronicle, has he made it down yet? I think he might have, just creeping ever closer. TenZ takes a look, takes a glance, and they pass each other, and it is all going to be down on timing. TenZ completely unawares, spots a pixel and gets the body! TenZ holds for Sentinels! We're tied up all even again.
That got so close. Fnatic had a really good read to get on that site. Boaster getting those first 2 kills, no less. But a big investment from Sentinels. It came down to TenZ with 49 HP and a 1v1 to close it out. Chronicle missing that timing ever so slightly, going for the middle of the tube instead of wrapping around. Could have found TenZ, and that could have been a round in the favor of Fnatic off the back of some low economy buy. And now, so many good ultimates as well for Fnatic as well to be able to swing things around. It's all on their game plan here, but setting up with the standard, going for that showers control. Sentinels also spread default, trying to get a feel for the land. Right here, they don't really know exactly what is coming from Fnatic, whereas on Sunset, the last map, they knew exactly what Fnatic was doing and played them. Pulled the strings like a puppet master.
Yeah, they have to be a little bit more, I guess, reactionary than instigating it in this regard. So I'm kind of curious how they approach it. And already, nice to see TenZ picking up a little map one. I mean, he closed it with, finished with a flourish, absolutely. But it was, it was a slog of a game. Here, great start for him. Already probably going to be confident. Looking like he wants to be as involved as possible. And already, you heard it in the clip earlier there, well, the recording almost, of Zelsis saying, let's slow it down a little. And it was right call, it looks like. Second time of asking.
That was on Zekken trying to take that hookah fight when they spotted a lot of Fnatic players. So trying to make sure that they're grouped up a little bit. They know how much this map is going to mean. If they play this perfectly, then they have a chance to 2-0 this series. But Fnatic picking Bind for a reason. It's one of their stronger maps, right outside of Haven probably, and Lotus. Sentinels, it's all on them and their teamwork and staying together and staying calm, but 30 seconds left. They're going to have to commit at some point here. They've got Long B and Hookah. It's going to be a big execution.
And they don't have the ults to depend upon this time. It's tricky, and you've got Boaster in what feels like a risky position, but it might just work, especially with the smoke. They're none the wiser, but he still gets one. Trade comes in. Zekken trying to run rampant, but it's still going to be dealt with by Durka. Trying to secure the site. They can't. Durka on the back lines, keeping this in their hands. Time is now of the essence, and they've run out of it. The spike too far. This time, Fnatic hold.
A great defense from Fnatic there. Invested showstopper. Durka coming out of that spawn smoke, and Boaster with that first kill as well. You see that cosmetic stun on Durka on back sight there? That's got to get Sentinels a little bit frustrated there. We're running out of that time, but we saw in Sunset how they kind of picked up the pace in a lot of these situations, went towards B quickly here. I think they're a little bit scared of going too quick here. We've seen Fnatic already set up a hookah crunch. They've set up a teleporter push from Long B into the showers area, so they're going to pump the brakes, call that timeout.
In a map that they're not so, I guess, comfortable on.
Instead of playing more reactionary, what it looks like they're doing at the moment, they could do something a little bit more proactive and stimulate things to start moving around a little bit more. Go a little bit more aggressive. You have the players to go for those fights. They're just afraid of those TP crunches. And as I say that,
that's the players. You've got them. Use them. Zekken and Sasi taking away Durka and Hero, their opposing numbers, and John QT closing in the net. Chronicle still going to do some damage. Oh, what is that? Oh, but he gets caught. TenZ ain't gonna let that slip. Keeps it safe on the site. Backline fight as well. You gotta look at Zelsis, look at Alpha. That's closing in. They even get to know where Boaster is. Patience paying here. Zelsis waiting. Alpha caution being displayed. And it ain't clean enough. He does get away with it. But Zelsis gonna catch him and bring him back down to earth. But a 1v2 for Boaster. Position was considered, and he's dead and buried.
Beautiful double kill opening on Showers to find that opening, that speed up, that contact. Every round has been slow, it's been spread apart, and they've been using abilities to start clearing out these angles. Yes, they use it Prowler, but behind that, nothing else, no sounds at all, going in quietly. Chronicle saying like, hey, I've played with Nats before, I know how to play this agent over here, a short, but Dai is trying to get his Viper's Pit off, and that's going to be expended. He doesn't have that anymore for this next round, and they're going to have to go into an eco. So many good ultimates. It's a shame.
And take a look at the timeline, just briefly, before it goes away. Since we got to the gun rounds, SEN have been having impact. The scoreline a little bit hard to read into in moments. 3-3, you might think it's a bit more of an even affair, and the rounds have been close. But the swing is in, and Chronicle, got to be cautious here, caught by the Seas, and the orbital strike, he's about to get away from it, fortunately for him. How much can they throw on one man? Chronicle, I don't know how you're even still alive, surely dead now. He had the entirety of the team thrown at him. Sight is under Sentinel's control, however.
It's going to be a tough one to break into. Yes, you got Spawn, you got Heaven, you got Showers, but all these smokes and pistols.
How are you meant to make your way through the mayhem? So much in their way, and again, the ult does find a target. You can see Sassy considering, does he fancy biting in on that? But no. Oh, okay. Alpha with a banger. Takes away Zekken. Divide gonna go through. Tens leans forward. The Chosen One himself stands tall and holds the ground. Durka damage, he's dead. And now down a hero in a 1v3. And the time ain't on his side, and neither are the numbers. Sentinels, eyes on the prize today.
Couple of rounds back-to-back off the back of that timeout for Sentinels. Good value there. Wondering if Fnatic's going to take their turn to get a timeout and start swinging things around in their favor. Because right now, Sentinels just took the lead. Attacks out of Vine, and that's very scary. Another Cosmic Divide not being able to get any value. Sentinels, again, another quick game, round there. Chronicle, he got Prowlered, he got seized.
Oh, there was nowhere to go.
Yeah,
there was nowhere.
Orbital Strike.
Yep.
Thrashed.
Wild. And do we get the brawl again?
Oh.
Whoa, okay, that's a different weapon there, though. No respect to it. They want to press the issue. Oh, that's why! Second, you are outrageous! And another potential victim. Heroes lucky to be breathing. Again, just onslaught after onslaught. Chronicle tries. Well, he still can only do so much. Hero has fallen. It's on Chronicle, Bosher, and Alpha, who are being absolutely stun-locked out of this game. The pace has been so oppressive from Sentinels. So well done. John QT, never going to let the round slip, is he? Alpha is there, and a second for Alpha. Now down to a 3v2, but look who's creeping in. John QT, the one to full stop the round, surely. How are they meant to do anything with this man's presence alone? The Spike feeling inaccessible. And Sassy not giving them a fight. Trying to play to the timing. Chronicle pries him out, but the time is starting to tick. And John QT knows it. He plays it to the second. He knows what to do.
And around the world, flank, catching Boaster before he could get that smoke off. He got the star down, but wasn't able to convert it. And Sentinels building on that lead right now. Fnatic still have their timeouts to start using. And they're gonna pop it now, realizing what's happening. These Showers fights have been going in the favor of Sentinels in these last few rounds. The AWP comes out for Team Fnatic to put a stop to it, but Zekken knows that pre-fire angle. I know you're going to be holding this. Hey, I've played Duelist before.
Bro, Alpha's tilted, boys. He's not even ulted.
Guess what?
3 rounds
this
in a row.
Corner of the Showers, it's gone. As soon as he gets that kill, showstopper, we go out.
And this is the beauty of Sentinels, right? Let's take a moment here. This map isn't in their wheelhouse. It's not something they lean to.
Over this game, that's what they're doing right now, and Fnatic need to find a way to bite back. Standard setup again, no WAP in play, but these Showers fights have been going in the favor of Sentinels, and Sentinels I don't think are going to start shying away from it anytime soon. Prowler in the front, Mosh in the back.
Trying to get a way out, but Zekken taking all the space. Again, they've won that, I guess, close sight control. They've eyed up the A site, and again, rewarded for the util. They've worked this out. They've got a really good concept of how they want to take towards this site. Fnatic need an answer, Josh.
Thrash instantly as soon as he gets the plant. Nightfall and a fast retake.
Chronicle on the swing, and he hits! Knocking 3 of them out of the park, leaving just Sassy alive in a 1v5. This would be monumental.
Wait.
Oh my God, it's halfway though. He has to go, he has to swing, and he falls. A valiant attempt.
And Fnatic,
Christ!
they fight back though. They know, okay, we're gonna give you resistance. You can have this. We're gonna do our retakes. Try to hold against us. And Saucy, oh man, if he had any teammates left though, that spray transfer was great. Chronicle finding the first lineup off the back of that Nightfall as well. All of those targets softened up, half HP. Finding that, but again, it's such a still close scoreline, still in the favor of Sentinels, but their economy is actually getting really low. Fnatic can swing this around.
Anything could happen, anything can and will happen. First time we're seeing an early attempt towards Alpha though. Feeling the difference, peels away. Prowler comes in, notes nothing towards short.
They have that attack side Nightfall. If they get in the sight, they have the Viper's Pit to lock down either elbow or spawn.
This Mosh should at least isolate the rest of the players away from Second, but they're completely unawares. Boaster
Durka, what?
just asleep at the wheel, and Second just eviscerating them. He's the one to take this site. He's the one in control. And these are problems, these are issues, these are unmistakable. The only one to answer back so far is Chronicle. Zekken still stands, he still delivers. That's 3 for Zekken. Outrageous impact, and he knows where Chronicle is. Zelsis.
No, no,
Oh, Zelsis.
no.
Poetry in motion.
Zekken, earlier in the game, told to hold back, wait, slow down. But now, Zelsis is probably happy that he's running at them. That's back-to-back rounds, basically. Outshowers a couple rounds ago with that showstopper after getting that Durka kill through the wall. And here, just keeps pressing forwards and keeps them locked out of that choke point. Surprised that Durka actually tried to come through that smoke in that 4 versus 5. Fnatic gotta stick to their guns. Zelsis is trying to have a little bit too much fun, potentially.
The maniacal laugh there at the end. He's like an evil genius. 4 to 6. Alpha, the only one with the Vandal. And we have to say it, we have to state it. This could be the game starting to slip away. This is tournament life. This is what it comes down to, a historical matchup, to say the least. And as it stands, Fnatic are getting flashbacks. Speaking of flashes, you don't be saying that, but Chronicle does get a rifle. That's all the redeeming qualities here, as Sentinels control that B site perfectly. Maybe Hero now with the Vandal in hand can lead them back.
It's gonna be tough.
High Dizzy, it connects, doesn't find Hero. They read it well, but not well enough.
Hey.
Maybe a chance made. Zekken, the monster of those previous round, pops the ult. That is a warning signal, but Hero still drops the body. Fighting with everything they can. Oh, but Chronicle the time! It's gone, it's too late in the day. And Sentinels making it up to 7.
When I see the rounds close out like that, you know it's clear as day Fnatic have it in them. They're not converting any of these situations right now. They're so good when they can get to the retakes, when they move together in tandem. But Sentinels right now, the first few rounds, feel it out, slow. As soon as they start hitting them back, it's all just unleashed.
Win or lose
from
with
there.
confidence.
Sentinels is running away with this game right now, and Fnatic need to find a way to put the brakes on them, stop them from getting away with just whatever it is Sentinels wants. It's A, 4 rounds in a row. They go B. It's easy. It's free. It's open.
Don't know if there is a way to stop this Sentinels team. Chronicle is trying. I think we can all say that. Fan of Fnatic or Sentinels, you got to say this man is scary. 14 to 6. He's found impact time and time again. This time trying to control one aspect of at least this A site. Durka allowed to focus towards Shower. Good shot. Zekken goes down, dulling the tip of the spear a touch. Sentinels still going to try and get the plant going here.
Spike planted.
That's in play.
They have that Molly also from that Brimstone. If he has a lineup for the spot, it could be free.
Could be, but it's pandemonium on the site, and Tens wants in. Where the hell did that go? But Durka still gonna find it with a shorty. Chronicle still controlling. It's on Zelsis, it's on John QT. A clutch would be demanded. Oh, there's not much more he can do. Chronicle, this is the danger. This is the impact. If Fnatic aren't waking up, he will wake them up if he has to.
Gap closes, 5 to 7. We're going into the second half. Fnatic need to find a way to equalize. That would be the second pistol of the half, though.
Switching sides.
And history demands this game was going to be close. It was going to be a great affair between the two of them. And 5-7, we are on the money for this to be a memorable moment for both sides. Regions, and as it stands, NA is leading. Map 1 in the bag, half in their side. Now, Fnatic, have you got what it takes to answer back? We find out as we start, and I asked if aggression could work. Instead of trying it. Try and fail! Chronicle, that's why you respect him. When he tells you to sit down, you sit down. 2 already to kick things off, and instantly SEN have to fall away from that.
Sit down or I'll bury you, basically. He puts him down. 5 alive for Fnatic, and they put the brakes on. That smoke is making them second-guess themselves, but also, when they let the round develop like this, Sentinels, they can't play spread apart. If they do, then it's going to be 5 versus 2 or 5 versus 1, so they're going to get a little bit sweaty here.
I would say, though, with John QT and that Sheriff, there's still, like, high levels that this could go any which way. It's certainly not on one path yet. But they've navigated past him, at least for the initial contact. He could still create a little bit of a crossfire, maybe with Zelsis here, or does he play it a little bit late? Options are plenty.
Only 2 stars available for Boaster. He needs to pick which 2 spots he wants to lock out. Hookah and Spawn and Alpha finds that pick. John QT sits in Hookah, but locked out for another 10 seconds here before he can get into the action. And in a 2 versus 5, your options are limited. You have to hope that Fnatic actually make a mistake, slip up here, but the way they've been playing this round so far doesn't look like it's going to be coming into play.
No, it's very, very tricky to find impact now. The unoccupied space feels so obvious. Boaster probably going to get contact. Beautiful! John QT, yeah, give him a wave. Give him a wave. But anymore, if you're Fnatic, you take the round, you don't care about the kill. And the time ticking fast enough now. They're going to be looking to give this up to the spike.
A lesson learned for Boaster there. When you do these jump spots, you have to make sure that when you do it, you make noise landing, they're going to go on that timing that they hear you land. Yep. You're going to go ramp up for that next jump. They're going to pre-aim your head. You have to switch it up. Sometimes you do the silent jiggle. Sometimes you do the jump jiggle. Sometimes
he was just practicing on behavior.
Oh, true. Actually, true. At least he didn't make contact with a brick wall there. True.
I mean, you could call John QT the brick wall of that shot, couldn't you? Just, oof. But it's the first round for Fnatic. Scoreline, 1 step closer. Just classics. I hate saying just classics.
Just classics. Just a free weapon.
I hate it. I know.
But is it the Sentinels bundle classic? Oh, yeah, they all got him.
Oh? Just chilling. And away we go.
Fnatic creeping up that long B line. Chronicle holding this A push by himself.
Oh, Chron.
Just the ghost. If he does go down. Oh, man.
That was so nasty.
I think everyone pulled the trigger at the exact same time.
There was no way out. Okay, do we go?
An atomic clock on that.
Do we go for the firing squad? I'm still a little nervous here. Okay, Durka. He's going to alleviate my worries. But oh dear. Hey guys, free weapons. Don't know why I'm doing horse impressions, but I'm getting nervous, is all I'm saying here. John QT, as said, they made something out of this round. They've cost him a fair bit here. I think that's at least... Okay, that's a Bulldog lost, maybe. Boaster looking to... run, run, please just run. We don't want another jump spot incident. John QT just wants to die peacefully, all right? He's happy to give that up. And that was with just classics.
That was just... I understand why Durka's out there. He's trying to get
everyone got it.
He's trying to get his ultimate orbs. He's trying to get to that showstopper a little bit quicker. Once he goes down, though, Alpha, he's got that Phantom. He's trying to tap away at that, but you can't do that with that many bullets. The reset time, the bullets just go out of control. Fnatic, they got their Vandals up. They got the Phantoms up. They're ready to go into this first gun round. on their attack side. Sentinels trying to put a stop to it here. Firing squad of their own here. High-low, waiting for someone to just peek around the corner, say, what's over here? Is it going to be Chronicle with his wall? But no, he's over towards B, and Hero, he'll probably use a Prowler before he decides to show his face.
Hopefully for his sake. And quiet across the map. Just a smoke, a Prowler here and there, but no contact made, and Sentinels being kept safe by a jump spot and a high-low setup for now. Fnatic starting to lean heavily towards this A site. Zekken waiting and seeing nothing. Chronicle's got to be very careful here.
They found out the setup. They had that showers control. The smokes were down. Now they got to leave Boaster there. Come back to short A. It's going to be a quad peek.
Oh, left, right, and he's dead! Overwhelmed Zelsis! He's playing it as late as he can. They're trying to invest the molly, but they can walk ahead of it. They can get ahead of that, and they do, but Zelsis still amongst all of the maelstrom, still here. Just trying to watch between the smokes, between the spam. Plant is in.
Hero
gets
solo, but he's alive.
Ult coming in. That's a problem. Gets handled well. They're just on that verge now. The Sentinels play this forward, so they flood the site. They're down low on HP. They're running low on players. And they're running low on time. Another Prowler in. They're not getting what they want. There's no access here. It's time to back away and save the weapons.
Another big conversion from Fnatic here. Taking their time, making sure they strike at the perfect moment. But off the back of these pistols, that's the only thing that's kept them in the game so far. Sentinels has had a better overall control of the game. Here, slipping up one time isn't going to be the difference maker. But they need to be able to bounce back and respond to Fnatic's execution here. A great way, taking showers, baiting out that molly, then shifting back to short A and peeking all together, catching this high-low setup. It's good to pick off a straggler, maybe if it's Chronicle alone, but not when 4 people come. It's a jet dash position,
Yeah.
not a raise, whatever.
Yeah, harder to make it work, but 3 in a row now for Fnatic, and by hook or by crook, they've got there. It hasn't, it's felt really damn close though, but it's been enough that's put them now in the lead here. Taking the reins back a touch. We were questioning how would Sentinels suit this side? Would it be harder for them to find that profound aggression that was working really well? And they've been trying it, but it's not finding the same reward.
4-man stack on A, looking to fight showers. Pushed off, Tens down really low, only 41 HP remaining. But so many pieces of util to push them off between the Prowlers, the Boombot, the Paint Shells. Dizzy goes in, recall is smart. But a 4-man reclear potentially from Sentinels here.
Yeah, gonna go back in for the fight. Alpha takes down one, but it's traded out. The Dizzy does well, and Tens claims Durka. This is good. This is a man to Sentinels this time. Shower control regathered, but Fnatic still have 50 seconds to try and paint the picture they want to, but that spike is a problem.
It's going to be so difficult to recover this. They do have stars on Astra. They can use these abilities to flush them out. Also, a Molotov from that Viper can clear out certain corners, but this crossfire from Heaven,
It's
John QT.
His positioning has been outstanding, genuinely, and his timing on the util, again, solidifying the safety of that spike.
The smoke's going to fade away in 5 seconds as well. He needs to re-smoke this if they want a chance.
20 seconds,
Molly.
the molly now. This is so well done. They are just suffocating Fnatic out of this round. And you talk about his positioning, John QT. He is hard to pin down. He's outrageously good at what he does.
10 seconds
And he
left.
reappears at the right time. The spike's still firmly in hand. He tries to make it costly, but Fnatic will have to let this one slip. Sentinels with the right fight in the right place at the right time.
Fnatic give up another round, but Sentinels, it was expensive for them at the end there. Losing those last 2 players, John QT in Heaven as well. It's just not good enough. It needs to be a little bit more clean if they want to be able to get this comeback, but I like what they're doing. They're pressing forward, so when Fnatic is doing their methodical approach to everything, this is kind of what I alluded to before, is that a lot of what they do, it's strong because it works well, but it's telegraphed. So if someone's trying to defend against it by themselves, they'll get taken out. But when there's 4 people swinging in there off the back of a wingman waddling in their faces, they'll win those duels, get that spike down, and convert around.
Silence shown towards A, but it's pressure on B.
It's a lot of strength towards A, and right now, nothing to connect in that hookah trap through the teleporter. This is going to be a free sight for Fnatic here. 5 versus 5 retake potentially coming out. TenZ has a thrash they could utilize, but they need more spaces to come out of. Right now, they're looking to do a TP play and come from hookah and spawn at the same time, but there's so many players here, and TenZ goes down.
But a quick trade, Zekken gonna keep it in hand. 4v4, but the time on their side. And Chronicle closing in. The man has been a nightmare incarnate. Hero finds John QT, pressure on CT, and Chronicle step by step getting closer. The inevitable death looking like it's likely. And Chronicle, he sees it all, and he takes down one, spots another with Durka. It's perfect from Fnatic.
Fnatic doing such a good job, a switch up, going B instead of A. Sentinels with a hard read. They're trying to do these mind games. It was working so well for them on Sunset, but here, not getting the right beat, and Fnatic take a round and potentially getting close to swinging the game in their favor. They have that lead now, finally 9-8, but did they do enough damage on that other round to put Sentinels on an eco round here? Because if that's the case, the momentum is also in the favor of Fnatic, and Sentinels maybe don't stand up.
Let's see. Sheriffs, light shields.
It's a save. It's a swing round.
Yeah. Nice.
5-man B stack. Will they assume that the last two players are also in hookah? They're waiting for it, expecting it.
Yeah, they know it. They've read it. Closer collects on towards John QT and Zelsis. I mean, he does like that classic. I think I've heard a couple of things about that.
Yeah.
But what are you meant to do with it here? Nah, not this time. Chronicle, good for it. It's 10, double digits. And maybe map 3 now becomes a reality. It's not over by any means. Sentinels still with plenty of chances. But you look at the run of rounds. The 3 initial for Fnatic. The answer back on the 16th. And now 2 back to back. This is where the game starts slipping away from SEN. We were question marking this half specifically. They're struggling here.
I'm wondering when that timeout comes in for Sentinels, because if another round goes in the favor of Fnatic, they might be letting it go too long. But op out for TenZ on that Gecko. He's going to get that showers line. Again, Fnatic switching it up, going towards B. They love switching up their game plan a few rounds into the game when they think that they've been figured out, or after they got the value out of what they wanted to do. Stay a step ahead of their opponents. Sentinels on that back foot, but TenZ taking this deep line. He's going deeper and deeper, assuring his teammates, hey, it's going to be B again potentially, but they keep 2 players here. They have that showstopper on Zekken, so if it is a B hit, especially if it's through hookah, they can connect that way, through short, through that teleporter.
Ooh, but damage. Alpha, he's a lucky
1
boy.
HP.
Once the decay goes, he'll go back up, but not by much. I mean, 26, he's still the walking wounded.
1 shot distance.
And where do they decide to stick the landing? TenZ getting curious.
He's got all the info in the world that he needs to reassure his teammates about B, and Zekken's already on that site. He's got that showstopper, but this teleport back to, oh my god,
yeah.
It's going to be a teleport back to
is.
A. They're going to catch TenZ with his pants down.
But it's still TenZ, and when he's there, my mind will still always question mark it. Give us the eyes on him, let's see what the Chosen One can do. Good for 1, no more to be done. The Wonder Kid takes over.
That's a big
takes
volley
over
timing.
showers, but the Hero's ahead of it. He gets to slip the net. He gets to get the plant. So the time isn't the problem here. 3 players already on this side. Zekken pops the ult. Oh, Booster gets splattered against the wall. A 3v4 in favor to SEN. Alpha down low does have his ult. The Prowler doesn't quite make it. But Sassy aware, Chronicle, the final boss of Fnatic, is still standing. Supported by the young gun Hero, but they are in problems. They are in trouble. The tap on the spike should draw the reaction. John QT finds Hero, and Chronicle's fallen. Sentinels stay in the game.
Ever so slightly, Fnatic's plan there actually was so good. It worked. TenZ can't get away. He's on Gecko, not Jet. He gets taken out, but yeah, just coming out of heaven, Zekken, he's got that showstopper, and when Zekken sees blood, he is chasing people like a shark. He is in there. He is not afraid to take those fights and swing the round. We look at Sentinels, we look at X Factor players.
No, let's stay in it, boys. No tilt, only vibes, logic.
Don't tilt, only vibes, logic.
I like that.
Inspirational.
Me
We
that
should
on
get that on like a t-shirt, a mug. Like,
yeah, we got merch. SEN, get on it. For now, though, Operator still in play for TenZ. Still gonna see the actually Viper's Pit there for John QT, one away from Sassy's ult. On the other side, Fish ult there for Alpha. We've got some bits on the horizon. This could get really messy. And Zekken freed up a touch. You see the switch up of position as well. Zelsis taken over towards Showers. Tens on the longer line over towards Heaven, allowing Faith in the 3 to stay here. The test of the execution now for Fnatic.
A big paint shell placement, Thrash available as well. Dizzy just before that as well. It looks like Alpha's setting up a mosh for that long B control so that they can take it at the same time as they can explode on the site. That Viper wall, it's gonna be going down soon. He doesn't have enough remaining on it. That paint shell from Zekken though could be a huge timing.
Could be. Waiting for the 50-second goer. It looks like it's in now. The Dizzy goes through, the ult comes in. Zekken falls as opposed to finds him. Alpha gonna note the follow-up as well. That's gonna be Sussy seen. Held up and denied. The ult then got popped by John QT, who's the one who could maybe stop it all. He takes away Durka and he plays towards the site. Plants in play, and Hero has none of it. Leaving Tens and Zelsu with no options. Time to save. 11 carved into the board for Fnatic.
Once they see this, all their pieces fall apart, they go for that save. They have that op still. It's not getting any value though. Fnatic's been going B, going B, going B. Time for Sentinels to try to get ahead of what Fnatic's doing. Because right now, Fnatic, if you give them long B, you give them hookah, they execute. There's no way you're holding that. It's not possible. You need to fight them at the choke points. We saw that when Sentinels fought them at Showers. But have they fought them at long B yet? No. Have they fought them in hookah yet? Not really.
So what's that thing though? It feels like when the second Tens moves, they're going to go back towards that A hit. Yep. It's so hard to find that rhythm to the game.
When do you do that switch up? And Sentinels, they had those reads, but so far it's been Fnatic's game. They've been staying a step ahead.
Send timeout, do you reckon?
It needs to come because we were talking about it. If it didn't come last round, 11 rounds for Fnatic, and here it comes out. And they usually do well. Their adjustments are good after they get that timeout. They won the last one. They got a couple of rounds in a row off the back of it, actually. So if they're able to get a couple of rounds off the back of this timeout.
The other way.
This is going to be tough if Fnatic do a little bit of misdirection, use that Prowler or Haunt towards Hookah, try to make it seem like it might be a B hit again. But then quickly pivot back towards A. Tens not in the equation again.
But I liked that they were trying to sell the same start, at least, to try and kind of show off that it still might be this B play. But the fact that he's so far down B long, now they know what's going on. The divide, that insult to injury, and Durka dives head first. Oh, it's gorgeous! Durka conquering the entirety of the site. But do they know about Zelsis? Well, Zelsis, what are we going to do now? A chance at glory, and he gets none. Alpha ensures safety. Make sure that the plant comes down. Never off guard duty, and Chronicle the closer. And Tens, this is a hard game to play when you feel like this. You're never in the right place, never at the right time. And Zekken, you got to back away. These weapons are so valuable. 12 is surely here for Fnatic.
The double-edged sword of a timeout coming out. And Sentinels. Oh, you try to move, you try to stay a step ahead of your opponents, but Fnatic, they've had the read on this game. They're showing why they picked Bind. They're showing why it's one of their, probably higher of the middle of the pack maps for them.
But it only takes a moment. We've seen it before. Zekken playing with Durka at this point, it feels like. But that's the operator gone. So actually, that's going to be quite interesting for the economy. I want to see what happens to this. Fnatic, one away now. This half has been beautiful from them. I think it would be a disservice to not say that. Sitting on 12 here, the 9 Sentinels are trying to stay in this, and they've made a damn good go of it, don't get me wrong, but 2 rounds is not enough, simply put. But Sentinels, the ones who, somehow the intangible, it's definitely not Prius. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, good work. Yeah. But genuinely, I want a third. I think anyone wants a third between these two, and we are set up for it. It takes one more round and we're there. Or is there resilience? Is there resistance? Can Sen pull this back from the brink? And it looks like this is what it comes down to. Durka, his name up in lights. And Fnatic looking to rebound after the arduous map 1. Bind looking like it's going to be in their hands. John QT and Zelsys with a lot of work to do, Josh.
That's showstopper with Durka as well. As soon as they start inching up, it's going to be all over. Durka already opened up the round with 2.
Durka wants this done. Takes another. It's all on Zelsys, and it's over. Map 3 is unlocked.
If there's a map to end it on, Lotus is the best one. The better team's going to walk away from here. It's in both their teams' wheelhouses, and it was saved for last. Sentinels like those really pacey attacks on Sunset and also on Bind. Are they going to keep that same tempo going into this? C site open for the taking.
Killed my bot.
They got stalled out. That Viper Orb, that Paint Shells goes down. They can pivot if they need to. There's loads of time to work with, but they haven't explored the rest of the map yet. It's Chronicle. Had an insane performance last map on Bind. He is the one to defend on that A site behind Rubble. Boaster here to back him up. Paranoia as well, ready.
Out of all the players, he's the one you should be scared of. Shaking in your boots. But that shot wasn't clean, but Heroes was. Evades the C's, and Hero leans forward. Chronicle strikes, fighting back with Venom to it. Zelsys and John QT now have nowhere to step. The spike got lost deeper. They've lost down the players. The Sheriff in Zelsys' hand is really the only caveat that's on their side.
40 seconds left. Time's getting low. Turret watches B. And Alpha could actually position himself towards C if he wants to. The rest of his team playing that retake on A. They have the numbers, letting Sentinels go for the site if they want it. Durka on this jump spot. Said, don't worry, Boaster, I got this. 18 seconds left, and they've shown where they want to go. It's going to be so low in time by the time they can get anywhere, but Fnatic's just going to push out before they can get the spike planted.
Retake, Zelsys, there's a moment. The shine! It was then! He gets 2, he tried everything he could, but Hero has his impact, he has his round, and Fnatic get the first.
Fnatic has been so good with these pistols. Chronicle saved them in the attack side of that Bind game, just popping off the heads of Sentinels here. And here, oh my god, Zelsys, he is so close. A pixel off that 3rd kill, and potentially swinging that 2 versus 4 into a round win would have been a huge burst of just emotions and energy for these guys because they look flat. They were looking so good, especially in that first half of Bind, in that later stage of Sunset, but it feels like they're kind of muted. We don't see them standing up. We don't see them excited. They need to get their confidence again. Durka already with that first pick off.
And Boaster almost disrespectful.
Spike down A.
Doesn't give them any of the space they'd like to have had. Keeping them tamed. Keeping them at arm's length. Tens not finding any way to step forward, and the net's closing. Flanks on the way, and the spike once again left in a very similar place. Yeah, they've got through towards B, but what are you meant to do?
This positioning's so tough. The Fnatic defense, just where they're positioned, it's in yeah, they're not getting through.
Enemy remaining.
And Fnatic have stamped their authority at the start here. This is, again, the first 2 maps just felt like a warning. This is now the war. It comes down to the final map here, and you're seeing the swing of the pendulum. Right now it's in Fnatic's hands, but we know what Sentinels can do. They can turn anything on a dime.
This round, a freebie for Fnatic. 5 classics up for Sentinels, signaling to us they want to have the strongest buy they can going into this next round, this round 3. Imperative for them to pick this up. Tournament life on the line. Fnatic looking so strong with these leads from these pistol rounds, but Sentinels fighting back shortly thereafter. Once they are able to find their footing, they can steamroll through. But right now, so many players from Fnatic are actually doing their jobs and doing well. And right now, for the other side of Sentinels, we see it on Zekin. We see maybe a little bit glimpses from John QT as well. But Zelsys has not really been there. Tens, he's had some moments, but a very slow start on that Sunset. We need to see these players start coming online. Because if it's not now, it's not this year. Defaulting, taking out that turret, getting some space on the map. Mound is next. They'll have C, they'll have mid. They'll be able to pivot between the 2 sites. But A, denied from Sentinels. They might want to come back and re-clear this. They have that Viper wall. They have the Prowlers if they need it. But Boaster, Chronicle, they've been there before. This time, Boaster and Durka to defend, and they've got that Odin. They've got the paint shells, and they've got the Paranoia. This is going to be expensive for Sentinels to get through. And if they can't make it through, funneled, Viper Killjoy setup on C, it's going to be disastrous.
That's the first real bit of committed contact there.
Now the one-way's back up.
Feels unbreakable.
They can walk through with that shield from the Viper wall. But again, paint shells,
Paranoia.
And now back to C. 40 seconds left, Sentinels. They'll need to commit. This kill from Zelsis onto Hero is going to be the difference maker if Hero gives it up. But the orb, the mollies, the
30
turret.
seconds left.
There's a lot to deal with 30 seconds to go. Zekken finds a little bit of safety, and he holds his breath and waits. You can already see the curiosity starting to close down. It's Chronicle to take away tens. Now Alpha retaking the space. Takes a lot of damage. Zekken strides in, but Hero on the trade. Spike with a quick pivot. Zelsis playing ahead. That's huge. Can he buy enough time? Can he buy enough security? He's desperately trying to readjust on the Spike plant. It should be fine on the time. A 3v2 out of nothing. Maybe Sentinels finding their footing here. Boaster and Hero working their way around CT.
They have a little bit to work with. That smoke, a Prowler.
Cover going out.
They repositioned, but still the crossfire from the front of the site and the blue door. If Hero goes all the way around and secures this flank, if Boaster makes enough pressure for it, it could be the difference maker.
Last player standing.
Zelsis puts an end to it.
Zelsis, this round was his. You gotta say it. His earlier positioning, catching the rotation back from C. He did everything right for the side, and you wanted a bit more from him. He gave us a whole lot. Boaster gonna try and back away and keep the Odin in hand, but this round, in my eyes, was off the back of Zelsis. Bit of an unsung hero at times. Does so well here.
And Zelsis can get himself into the game on the front of being able to get kills, being able to find this impact, being able to call that audible and get his team rallied behind him. Then he's also going to start feeling it as well when he gets his team pumped off the back of that. When he starts standing up and starts shouting at the other team and starts getting his teammates involved emotionally, that's when Sentinels gets very scary. 5 kills at the end of last game on Brim. This game, he's already matched that on Killjoy, round 3.
There.
But it was only a bonus.
It
Bringing
was.
it back to reality, only a bonus. High quality, high tempo, sure, but a bonus nonetheless. Now into the buy. The Odin's still retained. That's in the hands of Chronicle this time around. And a very different setup. So Sentinels will have to try and navigate this new look to Lotus.
The Odin spam, so dangerous and so much damage has gone through here. Alpha picking up that first one through that Viper wall just to spam.
And it's Zelsis, Dreams crushed after such an impactful round. And they're sent packing again.
Durka jump spotting this C mound area, gets that refreshed one-way smoke. He's going to be able to get the information, peel away, stay alive. Boaster probably going to be in a position to use a Paranoia to stall or anything. Durka cannot overextend here. He needs to make sure that whenever he sees these guys, he backs out and he plays his life. He needs to value it. Letting Sentinels fight back at another round here cannot be allowed to happen.
And Boaster looking for a pixel. Anyone trying to cross through. Tens seems aware. Actually, the Paranoia didn't land. Durka with a new lease of life. Counter Paranoia. It may not be on, but Durka certainly is. Finds 2. Answered back. Sight still under contest. Hero overwhelmed. And Zekken doing everything he can. Plant in play. Trying to make it happen. Good damage. Look at Alpha.
HP.
So low. Pop of the ult here. They need this plant in now. And it is.
Zoned away, respecting that showstopper, but Paint Shell still in play for Zekken. They can back out, they can reposition. Alpha down so low, and Chronicle full HP with that Odin.
Play retake with, but it's got to be traded off of Alpha, right? And for Sasi, 64, still sitting better off. Did he get spotted? He did! Alpha finds him! Zekken, though, can the man become a monster? It looks like he might be able to! 3 in this round, he needs 4! And where does he wait? Where does he guess? The gap closes, 15 HP. Paint Shell to the left. He looks. Oh! It's outstanding! It's perfect! And Zekken becomes the hero Sentinels needed.
Another round where Fnatic have the lead, and Zekken bounces back. He fights back, unleashed. And when he's able to get this showstopper off cooldown,
30 seconds.
Oh, Durka almost saved it for this team. If he was able to pick up a
That
third kill, but
yeah.
if he killed Zekin there, because Zekin has been the difference maker. He's been this X factor. He's been on Raze here. He's been getting value with all of his abilities, and he's been getting the multi-kills for this team.
Game on now. Really back to the Buckies, huh?
A lot of Buckies.
All right, take
Just
it.
2020.
Maybe. I mean, it's enough to kind of stop Sen. They're like, I don't really like what's around there. We talk about the pendulum swinging at the start. Well, it's right back in Sen's court, isn't it? The momentum shift. Could be right there, right then. And they're trying to not give away the Buckies, right? Using the classics to deal with the Prowlers, trying to keep this a little bit under lock and key.
But still, that's 2 Prowlers down just to get that information at B. They didn't even get the space off the back of it. They have that A control, probably. They have all of C mound. But Alpha, with his Bucky here, waiting to strike, to get one and leave.
Nah. Wait, Hero? Nah, okay, a nice try, but Sen keeping stable. This is good for them. Find the tempo, control the game. Nice paint shell. That could have done some damage, and it did actually. Durka dives in. Oh, Sen are heating up here. Taking the lead now. Looking sharp. And Fnatic, what's your answer?
I don't know if the Bucky purchases was the play. I've seen some of these players on Sheriffs. I've seen some of them on Stingers. You know, we don't really look at the EMEA for the Stinger fights, but it's been working for it. Teams like Fnatic, teams like Foot.
They had all the Buckies.
Right now, Sentinels takes that lead. Zelsis has his lockdown, and Zekin looks like he's in form at the moment too. So Fnatic, time for you to respond back, or you're gonna let Sentinels start bullying you on this attack side.
Ooh. Tens. So hungry for that kill. Wait, is he just gonna
Odin
keep
spam
going?
as well.
I mean, they forced him out of the tree, so takes the space he was given there. Chronicle relinquishing that control, slipping back towards the A site. And Hero's got to reset a touch too. The space the Ten's got is enough that has to be respected.
It's all 5 players for Sentinels towards this A area. Turret watching B for Fnatic. Alpha in that gem spot still. But this positioning from Tens, he needs to back out of this now. He's been spotted. They need to at least activate that door to threaten that he's gone. He's actually going to back out of this. Haunt goes in, clears it, secures it. Chronicle back on that line with the Odin. Coming back to A, going to be very difficult. Going into B, that's what Sentinel's eyeing up. They have that lockdown for that post plant if they need it, but deciding, wait a minute, not the play we want to do. Let's go C. Let's get that pressure onto B. Let's break that turret, force that reaction. If we get this lockdown, this post plant, we easily convert this round.
Yeah.
Durka, he has a showstopper, and I've seen him run through smoke before. Is he going to do that again here to keep the pressure on? He's trying to get the paint shells off on the lockdown. He could cancel this. 23 seconds.
That might be enough. And now what do they do? Running low on time and running low on options. Durka going to be on defense. Trying to hold this down, hold the line, make him sweat. 10 seconds, where do you go? There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. They try and play forward. But the man himself holds them back. 3 in the round. And all their chances run away with the clock.
That was so well played from Fnatic there with that Odin spam, the reclears of the Prowlers and the Haunts, the indecision from Sentinels there, not knowing where they wanted to go. Did they want to go back to C? Did they want to go B? And so much time invested, wasted really, in that indecision. And Durka understanding exactly how he wanted to do that, the timing. He gets in front, he knows that they're waiting for the lockdown to activate, gets that paint shells off, blocks it. Now Sentinels has to push in, zones him out with that showstopper, and he's not seeing that. We see Fnatic contributing a lot. Durka had a really big impactful round there as well. And Chronicle last game was all over them. But again, tournament life, and you picked attack. You better have picked attack for a reason. Early contact up B, 5 men, all in. They have that Viper's Pit. They can lock down one of the rotation points. And here they go, right in there.
Thought he might try and fly up towards CT there, but there were 2 waiting. Both trying to catch
No way.
on the backup, and it was Alpha to get second there.
Waterfall
But they're
to
taking a
spawn.
tour. Duck's on 4 HP. Is he
There.
hearing this?
This could be a
Yeah,
huge
yeah, he's
Viper's
pinging
Pit.
it out. He's pinging it out, but John QT catching the flank as well, trying to give them time. Time to run, time to make it to
There.
the site, but they know there's still going to be players here. There's got to be. They find Durka, they do, and he is damaged. He is
Boaster
dead,
again.
surely! Boaster, the saving grace of Durka, who could do no more. Where does Boaster go now? Okay, a 3v2. Sassy and John
My
QT.
ult is ready.
Nightfall, Viper's Pit, a big couple of ulti, but they want to try and at least secure Mound. John QT gave it a glance, but that's going to force forward Boaster, tries to maybe catch him in that, doesn't get a connection.
Prowler and Haunt and a Seize to follow as well. 1 HP on John QT and the Molly.
There's nowhere to run, there was nowhere to hide, but Sassy, this guy is legendary for a reason, and this might be a reminder. 2 in the round, he needs a third. Chronicle was the king of bind. It doesn't matter now. Sassy saving Sentinels this round.
All you have to do is talk about a player and they show up. And a big round for Sentinels to climb back on. They lost those 2 first players. Boaster getting a spam kill through the smoke. And another fast play out of heaven to get that second kill. Alpha, you thought right here for sure, 5 versus 3. How is Sentinels gonna get back into this? But they go all the way through spawn. They find those opening kills. Durka's so low, the crossfire broken, and the Viper's Pit. It was almost sealing the deal. Saucy picking them off.
They took one timeout and they look right back into it, but they might be taken out again. Zekken leads the fray, as does TenZ. They clear through Mount and they're away. C-Site should be under SEN control. Nothing can stop them now. We might need that counter timeout from Fnatic to re-establish their control in the game themselves. This is a 5v3 and they have no step towards the site.
Sentinels looking so strong right now, and this is when they look the scariest. When they start getting these rounds off the back of these clutches, the X Factor, Saucy 1 versus 3, Zekken getting that big clutch before as well, getting these swing rounds, forcing Fnatic onto these bad purchases, and then once they get these few rounds in the door, they kick up the speed. They find Fnatic, Durka, Boast are both out at the mound, out of position, now out of the round. Sentinels looking to pick up another round here, and the economy for Fnatic is getting low. It's dwindling down, and you're right, a timeout surely has to be called here.
Poison's off.
Chronicle just on a Spectre and light shields. They're going to deal some damage here.
Nice. He'll do what he can, and he was going to give it up to the spike anyway, so takes the body with him. Not sure if that was his ult potentially there. I'll have to double check when Cron's going to get that in. But beyond that, I was expecting a timeout. He is one away, so is Alpha. But as it stands, it looks like we're carrying on here, waiting to see if we do see the brakes being pumped. Maybe Fnatic still have a feeling they've got a good read here. The
Well played
purchase
though,
will
well
be
played.
shaky though, Josh.
Nice open on C, boys. You guys did great.
That's true. It was a good opening on C.
Yeah.
No timeout for Fnatic here. Maybe thinking that they still have control over the situation, but not even taking it to ice Sentinels. The way that their tempo is kicking up here, they're changing the pace of everything. They're catching the opening kills on Fnatic out in the open as well. You'd think maybe trying to put them on ice, slowing everything down, but that's not going to be the case. A little bit of fake pressure towards A from Sentinels. That C control already taken. The orb picked up. They could go straight into an execute if they want. Alpha and Chronicle to defend against this. They're both one off of their ultimates respectively. But already ready to do that execute. Sentinels is right at the entrance, at the cusp.
No fear from Zekken. Now, the fear of God put in by Chronicle, but he's going to be caught here. Does he get punished on this? No. Actually, an opportunity.
Bring them down.
Punishment on this C site continuing. Sassy
Find you.
not going to go for the plant just yet.
Chronicle left his ultimate. He doesn't want to get spammed there, and it's going to drop.
But the rotation is going to be in. So 5 players here, and there's only 3 on the site currently for SEN. As we can see the disconnect from John QT. He's got himself waiting for that flank potentially. Not the worst in the world, not a bad position to be in. Obviously we know they don't. TenZ looking to get active, looking to get involved. Takes away Hero, knows about Chronicle. The Prowler to the left, but the paranoia sends him away. Oh, but TenZ, he won't fall. He stands his ground and he takes down another. And now down to Chron and Alpha, trying to play it back through. And now all down to Chronicle. He's in trouble. And you can see why. TenZ reigning supreme on the site.
Sentinels starting to run away from this. Fnatic You have to use your timeout. There needs to be a pause. Pump the brakes. Sentinels is getting away with everything they want to get. They're grouping as 5 and taking their timing. Right now, it's within the first 30 or 40 seconds of the round, some of these rounds that Sentinels is going in. I look back a few rounds ago, they got down, basically ran out of time. That's how Fnatic won around because there was so much indecision. But here, they walk up, they take the space. Once they have that space,
Nice!
so decisive. There's no question about it. We're going in, we're taking it. Even Zekken goes in, goes down first to Chronicle. Doesn't matter, they follow it up and they take the round.
And when we talk about swings and roundabouts in the...
Is this how you go out?
We'll find out.
Looking like a little bit of a fight towards A. Tens carries position, but the spike actually eyeing up that front B site. Potentially a split.
Oh, the tempo, you talk about it, and Zekken's living it! He saw nothing and still got 2. How are you meant to stop this guy?
Right now, you can't, but a weapon in the hands of Alpha. Chronicle on that Sheriff as well, and that shift over to that A site. Sentinels is going there. They're going to go through that revolving door, but already Hero, Alpha on that site, potentially being able to isolate some fights here. It all starts with the first kill.
Yeah, pre-fire on it. He's already been forced away. It's on Alpha, who tries to swing, but Sassy too aware. Tens now in unison with Zelsis.
Spike down A.
They've claimed control of the site, and a 1v3 required for
Spike
Chronicle.
planted.
To try and dismantle all 3 of these would be monumental. 1 on tree, 1 on site, now 2. How are you going to divide that?
Maybe saving is in his best interest at this point. It was a low econ round for Fnatic. They took that timeout. They talked about the plan. It wasn't for this round. It's for this next round coming up. How are they going to deal with everything that Sentinels is throwing at them? Sentinels, again, another quick round. Within the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds, they are making their hit. They're going straight into Fnatic's faces.
Toxins going up.
Kill 1 enemy remaining. Nice try. Couldn't quite keep the weapon though. And the money's just fine for Sen. 7 rounds now, Josh. This is the tilting point. I don't think that 3 would be enough, and that's all that he saw and was still able to get both. That is, what a player. What a goddamn player. But now, Josh, this is the changing point, isn't it? It's game on, or it might be game over. 3 is such a small margin. And you feel like one of the Sen players will give you a round or 2, so you can't bank on that.
We look at these teams, we look at the structure and the methodical nature of Fnatic. We see Sentinels relying on that individual prowess, that X factor, being explosive and running with that momentum. We're seeing a perfect example of it right here, stealing this game away off the back of 2 huge swing round clutches. The first was Zekken, the second was Saucy. And now with a 4-round lead, potentially looking, eyeing up that 5th round lead. Fnatic, even with that pistol, are trailing. Sentinels.
Is this the perfect fake?
This is, well, they slowed right down, right?
I love
Usually they would
this.
be hitting by now. Boaster on the jump spot. He's gonna get this info. Don't overstay your welcome, though.
He's got it back here. They've been constantly crushing that C site in the buy rounds, but now they start to lean back towards A. The Nightfall there. Boaster is going to be caught up in this. There's no evading that. Oh, and he gets punished. Zekken slicing through the site. That's going to be a plant. That's 5 alive. That's a lot of util as well still to play through. Paranoia with Tens, the smoke when he feels like it. Sassy with all of the kit. And on the other side, the showstopper for Durka. Hero potentially could get his ult here if he can get a kill. But they're hold strong on the side. Sentinels want safety. They want the numbers for that second half. They want 8 rounds. Anything less may not be enough, but Alpha going to set it into motion. Taking away Zekken, the spam comes in towards Tree. It's where all the 3 players from Sen are currently sitting. One slightly disconnected is Zelsis, but they take over the site, and Durka takes the kill. John QT standing tall for Sentinels, finally put down by Durka for the 1v1. And the time is too low. Surely there's no more. There isn't. It's 8 rounds for Sentinels. And Fnatic are on the ropes.
Sentinels is unstoppable right now. going through, following through with their plans, and despite Fnatic's best efforts, they're caught out of position. Boaster can't retreat in time. Zekin, he's just too quick with these satchels. Every time they want to go somewhere, Zekin is in there, and he's only been put down a couple of times, but instantly gets that space, and his teammates flood the site. Fnatic, they haven't been able to catch their breath yet. The back of that timeout, 2 round losses in a row.
Reality of the situation setting in. 4 rounds is the most that Fnatic can now achieve. Sentinels eyeing up at ninth. Just salt in the wound. They haven't got a grip on this half. Sentinels have outplayed them. Their attacking sides have been gorgeous. They look to pressure the A site early this time. No fake to be had, but Zekin leading the fray. A dangerous man through and through. Backs away, takes a moment of respite as Fnatic reset towards the site.
It's a big stall. This timing, Sentinels has been hitting the actual site in all the previous rounds for the last 7 or so rounds, but now less than a minute left. They have that A space, but they need to reclaim C mound first before they do their next action. Info coming in from Boaster. Spots just the Viper. I don't think he sees Zekin on that raise, so might think it's just a lurk. Might reaffirm them to stay towards C. Here comes the lockdown, but this is a fake. Paint shells to stop it. In position is Durka again. Now that's blocked, but oh.
Ooh, hold on.
Connect. But it's just a fake.
Left.
It's towards A still, and Hero's actually bolstering up that A site. Is it going to be a pivot back through that blue door into B as soon as they get spotted here? 20 seconds remain.
Dirk is here though, but yeah, he's still out of position. Boaster goes down. They've unlocked the keys to the castle. Do they expect Chronicle? It doesn't matter. Sentinels striding through the site. Time, 10 seconds. Hero, Durka working together. Desperate to hold on to this. Desperate for a chance. And Sassy is the one to stand in their way. Oh my God, the time. The time. Does he get it?
No ammo!
Bullets! That's how it's defined. That's how close this game is. At 8-4. You couldn't ask for a better half for Sentinels. They'll be happy with that. For Fnatic, their work starts now. This is the time to turn it around. As we take a glance back through this, but coming up in a moment's time, we even get to check in with Meteor in a moment to understand the trials and tribulations of these sort of situations. But what a beautiful game we've got to witness. And there's only one more half to go.
They have a 60% win rate on their defensive rounds. Right now, they got 4 rounds out of those 12. So needing to dig deep and pull something out of this attack side. And we know that they like to start slow, feel out the situation, but Sentinels, they're feeling good. They're feeling confident. And they're ready to take some fights. And they've won the big clutches all game so far. Fnatic, they need to start getting some big clutches of their own.
Can they activate?
Very slow start, and Sentinels is having this read towards A. They got that turret to watch B from heaven and ready to play that retake on C. They better have a really good plan because right now, Fnatic's pivoting back into that C site. They got the double smokes online right now. One for Waterfall, one for Spawn. Boombot, paint shells, everything they need to go in here. Boaster's so afraid of a trap through that revolving door. They haven't cleared B. There's nothing there. It's like fear, paranoia. Sentinels not budging yet after all this noise. Doesn't matter. The walk into the site, Haunt to clear that elbow angle, and they're going to get into the site. They're going to get that spike planted. It's all about how they approach this retake because Sentinels, they're giving them the site. They have to have a plan here. They have all their abilities. How is Fnatic going to deal with it? Because they still have paint shells and paranoia. They can make a really good plan and jam them up in Waterfall and Spawn. Right now, playing a little bit too standard potentially.
Yeah, and actually opting to go back towards site itself. So no one slipped back towards Mound, just leaving the turret towards it. The Prowler goes towards CT. That gets at least a slight connection. They now know that they're getting towards this. 3 through Waterfall, 2 through CT. It's Sassy to start it off. Taking down Hero and Durka now blinded. Put to the corner and dealt with by Zekin. Another step taken. The HP dwindling. Sentinels. This could be the first nail in the Fnatic coffin. Oh, and it's just flawless.
Flawless round for Sentinels, a pistol round, and starting to dig a deeper grave for Fnatic to sit in because right now, Not even a single kill from the side of Fnatic. They knew the retake was coming. Fnatic, they had their abilities, the paint shells, the paranoia, but they don't have the positioning, they don't have the crossfires, they're not communicating, they're not getting the trades, they're not even getting a single kill, let alone a trade.
Let's go! Let's go!
True.
Yeah, 4-9, another step. Double digits just feels so oppressive to face down.
Cover going out.
And a Bucky, a Sheriff, and a fast entry into B. Durka's in their faces. They can get the spike planted, but they need to do a better job than last round.
Yeah, but it's so difficult with these weapons. Like, what are they meant to do? They can try and play the choke points, play, you know, a little bit close here, try and catch someone out of place, but you're not catching Sen right now. They're catching you. Sassy gonna find Chronicle. Hero tries to lean forward, gets caught by the paranoia, and nearly punished. But the plant gonna come down now. And barely damage done towards Sen as they slowly step back towards that B site. Ten's the first one who might have an issue though. There's two players over towards that blue door. Sassy going to alleviate some of the pressure. Durka looking to be rewarded, and he is. Turns around, leaves the weapon over towards his teammate. The flood comes in. Exchange of space. Now they're locked out towards blue door. What are you meant to do with this? 4v2. They're locked off. They're smoked off. They are screwed, and they have to watch as the defuse comes on in. There is no escaping their fate. 10 rounds for Sentinels.
Sentinels is starting to run away with it. The same sort of confidence and we saw in that first map of Sunset is coming back in full force right now. They're firing in all cylinders. Fnatic, they don't have an answer. They're trying to switch up their game plan, getting down and dirty, a fast tempo into B, getting into their faces, trying to, you know, play a scrappy round out. But that's not working. You can't out-scrap the Scrap Masters.
Buy against the bonus. Two Bulldogs Guardian. Oh, where the hell was that?
Spam through tree onto A main, and the smokes are gone for Fnatic. Just that Viper wall remains. And trying to break through. There's 3 defenders here.
Sentinels just getting stronger and stronger. It feels like the bigger the challenge, the better they get. But for now, they still have to work with lesser weaponry. It is rifles with Fnatic up against Stingers, Sheriffs, Bulldogs. And now that Guardian did pretty well, but it's the numbers, Josh. 3 of them on the site alone.
Just recycling that Viper orb. This first contact kill is pivotal. Durka doesn't get it.
No, but John QT will. That's the spike. Oh, it couldn't be anywhere worse. Because now they can control it, temper it. And it feels just like a death funnel through there. What are you meant to do?
Slow motion train wreck happening here. The recycling of these, the crossfire that they have.
They can't do
34
anything.
seconds, Fnatic.
They are watching their tournament life be drawn away from them second by second. It will be 11 if Sen convert this, which looks exceedingly likely. And it's an excruciating death for Fnatic here. That spike is the downfall. There is no recovering this. And the round will fade away.
10 seconds
and so will a lot of Fnatic's hopes on this one.
Sitting there, they had paint shells ready, they had paranoia ready. There was no getting through Fnatic. Chronicle.
Does he live? He does.
Sentinel's not looking to punish, but getting so close to that 12th round scoreline. Fnatic. Not finding any opening kills here. In fact,
that's it.
Just a few spam bullets.
So nasty.
By the way, I was practicing the spam in ranked yesterday.
True. Well done.
Hey, it works out.
But we look at Sentinels here. They're all contributing now. This is the main point from the previous games. They weren't. And on the other side, Fnatic, where are you guys at?
Need to wake up. Need to stand tall. Or it falls to pieces. And all is forgotten throughout the year. The recency bias is pretty huge in Valorant, and this one is going to be telling. Fnatic made a great run of things with Hero. They've looked as good as they could be. But this might be where they falter. This might be where they fall. 12 could be placed on that board after this round.
Oh, not again!
He's just repeating these nightmares over and over, and 10's at the helm. Zelsis ready and waiting. Reading it.
them.
So easily. Not looking phased now.
Bomb grenade out.
And they let them take a little bit of space, but there's no security behind it. There's no safety here.
4v5.
Spike
We've seen
planted.
Sentinels win these types of rounds constantly this series. Fnatic, they haven't. Their post plants, even with 5, haven't looked too hot. Right now, Durka and Hero in that heaven, trying to disrupt the retake a little bit.
Where are you?
Sentinels taking their time, making sure they're moving together. Now they're grouped. Now the retake comes in.
And it's almost an extended bonus. Anything is a benefit in this sort of round, and for Fnatic, it's a must-win. The scales tilted against them. Sassy goes down. It's going to be Chronicle taking them away step by step. Maybe a chance made here, but Sentinels fighting back in. Durka dies. Wait, the timing. He's got the defuse. He's absolutely got the defuse. And that is how Sentinels get to 12.
I got nothing to say. That is just so well played by Sentinels, taking their time, confident. They're not afraid at all to wait and take their time in that retake. That first kill opening it up, made it a 5 versus 4, makes it a little bit easier, but not going too fast, not tripping over themselves, and their patience pays off there. Fnatic fall
Bro,
again.
just
in
let me keep
another
using the
post-plant
Guardian. I'm just
situation.
spamming these people.
These people. Not even Fnatic, not humans, barely at this point, just these people. Last chance to dance here for Fnatic. This is it. This is the timeout.
Having someone else be able to come in, reset it, give you some direction is going to be important. The counter spam is the play, but Zelsis is sitting here ready. It's going to be a spam battle.
This could be the defining moment. How does it come through over towards A? Who walks away so far? Mostly unscathed. But Zelsis will hold this down. You can hear it on the other side. A little bit of chip towards Durka, but that's it. Control over towards Mound, and we do have the first blood drawn. 10's falls this time. Alpha will be checked on. They now know at least a couple of the positions here. But it's 4 players for Sentinels. And Zelsis looking a little like an immovable object here. How do you get him off of this position? 4 players from Sentinels in the right place. Fnatic trying to fight back, but they are slowly trailing towards this A site. And Zekken waiting, almost caged behind that door. When do you unleash him? You do it now! You take away Chronicle and suddenly you're back to a 4v4. There's problems left, right. Zelsis takes him away and now down to 3. Man advantage to Sen. Alpha from the back lines fighting back. Takes away John QT.
40
no
seconds
plant. Where do they go?
3 versus 3, no space really taken from these guys. They've spotted most of these players on the defense, but they're going to run themselves out of
30
time.
seconds
Fnatic
left.
so indecisive in these moments, but they have to make a final decision and end somewhere. Enough time past Sentinels is actually over-rotating to C, and Fnatic's going to find an open site.
Okay, plant's going to be in. Now we look at the post plant. How much space are they willing to take? Trying to establish some utility, and the TP is here.
Info. Realizes
Kevin,
it's not close.
Nothing.
Oh, he
Missed.
sticks it. But now he knows, hey, they're not spawned yet, which means they
Care
over-rotated.
door,
Careful
care
flanking.
flank.
Yep.
You're calling these positions out now, but with Zekken standing, there's danger, there's threat, as with Zelsis, as with Sassy.
Turret, the alarm bot, the smoke at the front of the site, the crossfire. Fnatic,
Kind of clear.
this is looking good for them.
A chance made. But Sentinel step by step, closing in, now down to 2, Hero and Poster, but Zelsis one by one, taking them away as Poster has to try and save him, and it's an absolute nightmare in the making. Diffuse is in, no way! Look at the time!
0.15, and Poster, he misses his first shot, but
But he gets
realizes
the diffuser.
time is so low.
Oh
If I
my
get
God.
the diffuser right now, they might not be able to get on it in time. That target selection, that choice
No way.
to switch.
No way! Show me that moment again. The ability to do that in a moment like this. If he didn't get that kill, the round's done. The year's done. That's the difference. That is what kept Fnatic alive.
If there's a comeback,
Duh.
and it's because of that.
Was it all for nothing though? Was this just glimmers of hope? Who knows? But I'm enjoying finding out. 10s, this is an iconic position for this man. I get scared when I see 10s here. No one can really help him in that, so they now know. He is towards this.
He's chilling. He's got paranoia. He can teleport away if he needs to. He refreshes that one-way smoke. Fnatic denied that A main control. He knows that the defense is there. And Fnatic actually come back. They're taking towards B. They're taking the spike towards C. So potentially trying to connect through Waterfall, otherwise hitting that revolving door and hitting C. But right now, the defense from Sentinels, they have 3 players in this position. They're ready to pivot. Zekin ready to fight B or A. He's been so crucial for these guys all series. Fnatic, 5-man group, 45 seconds left, no ultimates. And Saucy in position with Nightfall as well. The mollies, the alarm bot. It's a fortress that they have to break through right now. Fnatic, if they don't pivot back to B, they're going to walk in their traps.
Zelsis, are you going to be their downfall? No!
Wait.
Chronicle strides in, kicks down the door. John QT, the difference maker before. Eyeing it up now, trying to stand his ground. 20 seconds, smoked off by Waterfall. Maybe Fnatic have done enough to control the site.
15
Paint
seconds
shell
though.
posted, they got to be cautious here. That plant isn't for free, they're trying to test this. Ten's gonna open the door, swing it. Boaster, big impact, finding 2, plants in play. Ten's and John QT. Are you up for this? 2 low players, maybe 3 you could argue. And it's Ten's, and it's John QT. You give them credit, you give them their respect. They are a terrifying duo. But right now, they're being toyed with. No time to make mistakes. As Tens leans in. Oh my God, is this how it goes? Is this truly how it falls away? Tens desperately at the helm trying to do this. 5 bullets to play with and not enough. Chronicle, lifeline made. 6 rounds.
It's so scary to start talking in those moments because when I look at that, it can still go either direction.
Oh yeah, coin
Sentinels, even a man down multiple times so far, they're able to, with their patience, their slow retake, finding their way into the site. Fnatic, they're just not doing a good enough job of playing off of each other and covering all the holes and being able to trade off of each other. That got a little bit scary. And Sentinels actually going to take a timeout here. Yeah. They have the lead, they have the momentum going forward. It's only 2 rounds that they just lost. Correct decision, even if they do play perfect. It comes down to shooting and a big battle and a big war. And right now, some of the Fnatic players have not been connecting some of their shots. Whereas Sentinels, they've been doing a pretty good job of winning out their duels. The last timeout Sentinels took, round 7. They got 5 rounds in a row off the back of it.
You'd imagine apprehension at an all-time high for Fnatic. No mistakes allowed, no missteps.
Tens with the economy for a Vandal or an Odin, chooses the Guardian, tries to get more spam kills or at least chip damage. Comes the Viper's Pit at C. It's gonna put them off of it, but Fnatic, 4 players towards A, looking to take this control at tree.
You've got to try and get Tens forced away from here. Revealing his new position, he has stepped further back.
Again, I look at this lockdown, I look at this Viper's Pit. If this is a B hit, this lockdown could be so devastating for Fnatic. It looks like they're eyeing that up. Alpha already at middle, ready to go. And enough pressure. He's pulled the rotation into A site. Zelsis, he doesn't care. He's gonna let them have the site. Plant, I don't care. I use my lockdown here. He's gonna flush you out. There's nothing that can stop him.
Okay, lockdown now. Plant in. What do they do with this? They can still live in the Viper's Pit if they just push through towards CT, but there's 3 players and they can spam this the hell out. It is going to be the battle of Spawn breaking out now, and second is the Warrior who's just ripping apart Fnatic. Limb by limb they fall, and this is what it comes down to, a 1v5.